Good morning, traders out there. How we doing this morning? Let's get things started. It's Trade the Pool, and we got a lot to talk about as Elon goes shopping. And who was talking Tesla last week? Of course, right here, your boy Money Mitch was looking right at Tesla, telling you guys how the monthly chart just looked prime. I actually traded it on the beginning of the breakout on Wednesday here live, TSLA. Great trade there. And now look at the trade now. Tesla to 400. Who was talking about 400 potentially coming this year? Well, it came a lot faster than even I thought it could come. But yes, we'll take a look at that action as Tesla breaks 400 and just rocketing now towards 427. Yes, you heard that right, guys. Wow, what a move here. Let's take a look at the action, and what a breakout indeed, guys. So let me just adjust this here. I had to do a little quick adjustment there. There we go. We got it there. Let's get that up there. All right. Hold on. Let me just adjust the screen right quick. Delete this one. Boom. All right. There we go. There you go. You guys see Tesla, and look at that, guys. We drew this box. We created this box originally on 8/27. Yes, so we were looking at this just a little prior to this, right? We were looking at this in August 27th on this Wednesday. Yes. Now, look where we're at, guys. So just to put it in perspective on the chart where that 27 was, that was right here when we started to break here on this breakout move here on this Wednesday. So there you guys have it. We drew that box looking for it to get into there, and look at Tesla go. What a rocket indeed. And this is looking great on what I talked about, the monthly chart and how prime this chart looks. So now you got this monthly breakout and could get towards, who knows, maybe 500 now by the end of the year. Oof, yeah, it seems like it, guys. It's going to be a little bit of a wild ride, but definitely what a crazy move here in Tesla. Can't be mad about that at all. Big milkshake in the house. What's going on? Good morning to you. We'll take a look at different stocks out there. And I got a swing trade on and things like that, so I'm trying to keep my eyes out there to see what's going on today. I got a swing short on DraftKings, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I've been talking about this trade for a while. This is kind of the, NFL football trade, right? I talk about it all the time. On that Tuesday, we started to come down here. Last week, Thursday, was really kind of the topping action on that fourth, right? You get a little bit of a spike there the next day and then collapse right through. That's come down, and I'm looking for a little bit further collapse. Back down towards the 43s today would be a good look there in DraftKings as DraftKings trade comes back to the downside. And I talk about this trade all the time, right? It's the upside on the buy the rumor and the sell the news event, as you guys see here, as of course the league is actually open now and not getting the big move. All right, let's take a look here. Adrian coming in here asking about drone stocks are moving big today. Yes, if you get to my playbook action, you will see some of those drone stocks. So let's get to the playbook action right here. Let's kick things off with my first stock that I'll be watching today. Watching Joby. And I'm watching the air mobility names, as I've been talking about this and looking for the drone names to really take off. And this is why I really like doing this combination of RSI with MACD. So as we were looking at this one, I was even watching this one on Friday, how the RSI was really starting to climb, yet the MACD hadn't shown any signs of that strength just yet early. But that's a good leading indicator there. As the RSI started to pick up the strength, now you're getting the cross. So it gives me more conviction that we're timed in now for the run in Joby. We'll look to see if this can get back above this 15 level. This is where I think we can really start to get things going. Archer this morning already up there to 937. Another one to keep an eye out for with these air mobility names. And look what you saw here. RSI going higher right before the MACD crossover. So now we'll look to see if this can start to push higher and start to climb. And last week's some of our top calls, guys, top calls, RCAT. and UMAC. I called these out to the key, guys. This was an amazing run here. We're talking a 20% move in RCAT last week, and UMAC, another one that I was calling out, off of that 10 move, going through this $10, now making a nice move yesterday or on Friday's action, getting up there about 9%, 10%. I'll look for UMAC to continue higher too. This one could make another breakout, maybe going towards the 13s and 14s. So I think they're all in play here. All the drone players, the air mobility names, they're in play, and I hope you guys are getting after them this morning. Let's keep it going. You guys know where you're at. It's, of course, Trade the Pool. Let's keep going. Ding dong is right. Next trade is at the door. Let's go take a look here as we take a look to see what happens to AMD. This is a bull flag setup now, and I talked about it. I was trying to trade it through this little bottoming action, and maybe should have been able to hold on to my trade on this weekend. And last week, I kind of stopped out of an AMDL trade, but I have made a really great trade in AMDL, so I'm going to continue looking to that today to see if we continue to push right back up, right? So you can see kind of how we're kind of starting to pull back, and I'd actually take this line off here and start drawing more of this line here. As you can see, kind of we're pulled back into that space and really kind of holding in here as we kind of wedge in. Let's see if we can push back above the 164, 166 today and really start to drive and start to go higher. AMD already coming up this pre-market, and Friday's action strong. Let's see if we go back there towards the low there. That could be a quick attempt to go back below 159. I would love to see us attempt to go back into that spot. I wouldn't mind buying the dip in AMD. All right, we'll look at the chat. We'll see what other comments are being mentioned out there. But yes, those names are hot on air mobility. Let's go to Apple, as that's going to be the last play on the playbook action, at least. I've talked about how this would be kind of a buy the rumor, sell the news event. That's exactly what happened. And then what happened towards the end of the week? Well, at the end of the week, Thursday, we started to click back on Apple, now already about 5% higher, 4.7% higher. So instead of, if you bought into the event and sold it into the event, you made 5%. Then if you sold the event, you made another 5%. And now you could rebuy it back and make another 5%. This is how you can trade and win, guys. So maybe you're not getting that full 5%. Maybe it's 3%, but that's not bad at all here. Apple now going higher, and this looks like it wants to continue going, guys. I think Apple's looking at a big move, potentially new all-time highs coming this year. So I think this is going to start pushing towards 260. Let's see this start to make a bigger move, and let's start taking a look to see if the big boys move, right? Microsoft. Let's see if Meta gets some move, right? Of course, Google's been driving through the highs, so if Tesla's going to drive up there and we're going to have some other ones, why not, right? Well, Amazon hanging out there also, right there towards the all-time highs. So those are the types of names that I'd be keeping an eye on to see, do they just get the gas pedal and break out through the highs? All right, we'll take a look around at some other trades out there, and definitely seeing some other ones do pretty well today. One name that I saw last week doing well and started to get the bounce back were these energy names like OKLO. Was watching this on Thursday, and then it continued trading on Friday. Thursday was the big breakout day. Friday continuation, and nice little breakout there in OKLO. GEV also trying to push out of this kind of flag pattern, go back through the 650s. CEG having a decent day last week. So let's see if these nuclear plays and these energy plays can continue hot, or will we see a turnaround in names like this? NRG, big push right back up to the upside. We'll see what happens there. Cleveland Cliff with a strong steel breakout. We'll look to see if steel can continue hot out there. We'll go to different sectors out there. Of course, you can take a look at the home builders. Those have been hot as of late. Nail, you can take a look at that to see how that's going to continue to push. XBI, of course, and IWM, the small caps continuing to drive. We'll take a look at some small cap names. I'm sure my man Kevin's out there in the chat already buzzing me. I know there's this HSDT. That was a crazy mover today, but that's like a $15 stock going up there to $50. We'll see if that can continue to happen. GPUS, another name in the penny game, down below $1 already. Glue up there to 9 and then starting to pull back. We'll see what happens to that one. Check. You got NAOV. TSLA. And of course, we can take a look at the crazy flyers like QMMM now starting to break down. And we'll see if BMNR can continue going, as I called this one on the breakout last week, through 48 I was talking about. And boy, oh boy, did it get hot on Friday. It took a huge 12-14% move there. So crazy breakout there in BMNR. We'll see what happens there if we take off to above the 56. Sorry guys, if you guys hear my boys in the background crying. It's a toddler morning, but we'll just keep it going here. We'll see what else is out there. Some miners we can take a look at there for sure. But BMNR, what a breakout call also last week through the 48s. I mean, where else are you guys getting those type of breakout calls? 17% higher. SBET was another one I talked about how it could start to get going. It had a nice 8% day on Friday. Ethereum itself, beautiful day on Friday, but turning around today. So I think it's just trying to wash some traders out that got in on Friday and then get out. Didn't take the money. So we'll see what happens here. Can we get back up above the 172? That's about a 9% move there in Ethereum. So we'll look to see if it maybe pulls, fills the gap, and then goes higher. That could still be a play. All right, let's keep it going. It's 8:53. We still got a lot more to get into. We'll go to the Sunrise Report to talk all about what's going on with Elon Musk. What is Elon doing? Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's definitely buying some Tesla. So let's keep things going. We'll take a look around out there into the market. Let's go looking at Tesla, see how it's reacting off of the report, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's coming this week. Of course, it's FOMC week. So let me know in the chat, guys, what do you guys think about interest rates? Do you think that there could be potentially a 50 basis point cut? Let me know in the chat. We'll kick things off, and we'll keep getting going with the Sunrise Report. Wow. Tesla's move is straight takeoff. Another thing to note, though, it's the advancing three shoulders, right? So it's okay to get a little bit more drive today, and maybe even it gets to like 450 today. But after today, especially going into tomorrow, I'm going to be a little bit careful about a pullback in Tesla. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into the Sunrise Report. We'll talk a little bit more about what's going on in the market this morning. We can definitely take a look to see what is going on with the interest rates, because that's definitely going to be a big talk, right? But there's some other conversations out there that I think we can get into. All right, so first, of course, the futures were edging higher ahead of the Fed, right? Federal Reserve meeting is this week, and it's going to be monitored, of course, to see what happens with the interest rates cut. The markets are pricing 96% chance of a quarter point Fed rate cut here. So, of course, that's going to affect the way that people are seeing the markets, and that's why I think you got this breakout right before it starts to come, right? Of course, we could run into some turbulence, but we finally broke out of that wedge and are going stronger, right? So I think at this point, you can definitely start to kind of even delete some lines here, start to clean up the chart a lot. Sometimes that's what I like to do. Like as we get away, you want to clean up the chart and kind of just draw where your key levels are, right? So key levels were between this kind of range where we broke out of the 645. Now that's going to act as a resistance at some point. So at this point, I'll kind of delete this line and I can extend this one because this is the one that I think is a very important one. So of course, we're like kind of every time we come back to this, I'm going to keep watching this as it extends. At some point, we're going to break this and start to really downtrend. But for the time being, as long as this line can still go higher, that trend line, and we respect it, we are on takeoff mode. So who knows? Is 700 out of the realms for the year? No, it's not, guys. That's not even that much higher. We'll see if we can continue to climb. Another thing is we got a declining RSI here that kind of helped. The sideways action, the nature of going sideways between July, August, and September actually helped to bring the RSI down some. So allowing ourselves to go for a breakout here on the MACD and really look for an expansion higher. We'll look to see if that can continue pushing. Of course, Tesla popping on the insider buy as we take a look a little bit further into Tesla. The the news here, right? It surged 7% pre-market after CEO Elon Musk disclosed a massive $1 billion open market purchase for 2.57 million shares, the largest insider buy ever by Elon Musk and the first significant purchase since 2020. So this is seen as a strong vote of confidence as Tesla shifts more focus towards robotics and fierce EV competition. So definitely take a look to see what happens here as Tesla. Big push here, and that's going to definitely help continue pushing things forward. Let's go to NVIDIA here as they're under pressure in China as they're getting hit here in the pre-market. We'll look to see if it climbs back as it's already doing so. But what happened was China State Administration for Market Regulation said that the company violated the nation's anti-monopoly law. So probes related to NVIDIA's 2020 acquisition of Mellanox related an agreement. So China vowed to continue its investigation. The news could weigh on NVIDIA, which could be a major driver of AI market enthusiasm globally. I think this is just more talk and, kind of how China does things. Let's keep talking through some other conversation as trade talks and TikTok deadlines coming to an end. U.S. and China resumed negotiations on Monday covering tariffs and technology restrictions. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that progress has been made, but warned that the U.S. would move forward with a TikTok ban if China doesn't soften its demand. Who cares, really? Is that really what you're using as leverage? I'm sorry to get into that, but just TikTok is what your leverage is. Come on, just use the AI chips. That's the leverage you have. But we'll just keep going on that end. Trump floats end of quarterly earning reports. President Trump suggested that U.S. companies should move from quarterly earning reports to semi-annually reporting, echoing criticisms that short-termism hurts long-term strategy. China has 50 to 100 years view on management. We run our companies on a quarterly basis. Not good. Current SEC rules mandate quarterly reports. Any change would require SEC or congressional action. We'll see what happens with that. That came from Truth Social this morning as Trump just feeling that, hey, quarterly earnings are not for the benefit of the market. I don't think so, man. I think it definitely is, but hey, it's how it is. UNH, though, eyes on the White House as they're probably viewing Trump this morning and have been seeking a meeting with President Trump. It hasn't secured one just yet, said the Wall Street Journal, but details remain limited, but this is definitely something to kind of watch as it highlights how healthcare giants are positioning ahead of potential policy shifts. Of course, this is the week where we get, of course, the big bad wolf Jerome Powell to come on in and shake up the markets. We'll see what's going on with that, but hey, it's going to be a fun day indeed. I'll tell you what, guys, this is going to be a tough day today. There's no Michael Noss. Yes. No Michael Noss today, guys. It's just a bunch of money-making Mitch. So, hey, guys, strap in. It's going to be a hell of a day, guys. I'll tell you what. We'll be taking a look to see what else is going on in the markets. We'll take a look to see what else is happening out there. Let's kick off the show. It's 9 a.m. Start that countdown. You guys throw up stocks that you guys are watching, and let's keep things running. Let's go.
Wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money. It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
What up? Let's get things started. We'll take a look around in the market. We'll see what else we can come up with. It is going to be a good day for me. I'll tell you what, getting things started into the green. Got to get my swing account up here. So I'm going to get that up here in just a second, but looking around to see what kind of trades I can come up with. So if you guys have a trade that you guys are watching for in the markets today, please holler at me. Let me know what's the trade because we got a lot to talk about. We will be taking a look to see what else goes on on in the market right now, as there's not that many catalysts this morning. It was kind of a dull morning on the catalyst side, right? There's not that much news out there. Of course, the Elon Musk thing kind of came in, but that's just something to like look out there. It's kind of a dull, and that tells me that we need to be paying attention to see, do we get some fireworks today? That's what I'm going to be looking for. All right, guys, let me go ahead and get my swing account up. Sorry, it's taking a second here. Just didn't have it up. Sometimes I'll tell you guys, and I've told you guys this before, I kind of keep it on the sideline and I don't pull it up too early because I have a feeling that I run to the profits often. That's probably one of my things that it happens sometimes. And one of the things that can happen is that this morning I was already seeing DKNG like bounce back and forth. So I didn't want to overwatch it. I just wanted to kind of keep watch on some key levels, making sure I was still staying into the green. And that's what was the focus here, right? So we can go to that trade here. I can explain a little bit more about it. Let's go ahead. Let me kind of bring this charts down and kind of fix this up right quick. There we go. Looking good there. All right, so we are up about 0.66% on this. It's about like $70 right now. I'll show you guys the position here as I'm in DraftKings on the bottom left, short about 300 shares. Let's see what happens if we can start to actually get this to start to break down there. So DKNG definitely going to be something I'll be watching to see if it can break down through the 43s out the gates and keep going lower. We'll see what happens there out the gates on DKNG, but we can talk about some other trades out there. We can go to my watch list. We can go to small names, large names. You guys out there also run the show, of course. Tesla today leading kind of the list out there. Archer going higher. Lemonade. This is one that I talked about last week, how it really had a nice bull flag, and the bull flag is starting to break. So pretty chart there in Lemonade. Man, I don't get enough time to put out all these charts, but this is a really pretty one here in Lemonade. I need to start putting out some more charts out there on the Twitter streets. But man, these boys, they take a lot out of me. Just got to start doing a little bit of some work on the weekend and look forward to it, guys. I'm going to start doing a little bit more of some charting and coming after you guys. If you guys don't follow me already, of course, check me out on Twitter. And of course, follow us on Twitter. I'm at MoneyMitch_TTP. And of course, at Trade the Pool. You guys can be following us on Twitter, getting the playbook every morning. And Tesla was on that playbook, but Lemonade is one that could very shortly be on that playbook. Like, let's say tomorrow, I'm going to be talking probably more than likely about Lemonade on Trader TV, as this is a beautiful kind of cup and handle on the weekly. Just really can pull back a little bit today towards 52s and things like that. But right now, we're looking clean for a nice breakout attempt here. I'll be watching to see if this can really kind of start to hold above these levels. Throwback levels could be kind of coming back into play too. Let's say back towards 53 at some point, but we are on the attempted breakout here in Lemonade, and look at the 15-minute chart. That is strong this morning. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's going on out there? How we doing? For a swing USAR, that's not a bad one, guys. We can talk a little bit more about that one. I actually like that position, Adrian. I do keep an eye out on this one. I also keep my eye out on UUUU. But let's take a look at this one. This one's been kind of in the symmetrical triangle that got above, right? It did try to break out, then came back, and it's been trying to kind of load in here. It needs to start to get back up, right? It needs to get back above. I think first it needs to get back up above like this 1550 or 15 for me to get excited. But I understand if you're kind of front running and loading in here, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you just got to be careful for maybe an attempt down and then that real liftoff comes. But I do see the trade here. It's not a bad trade at all, especially if it can break this kind of trend line approach, start to go right back up towards the upside and actually hold. So I think right now what we need to see is, do we get a break above this level and it actually hold today? So let's take the 15 spot, USAR. UUUU is another name that I like. It's very similar, right? So I'd like to see if this one can hold the 90 MA, maybe slightly undercuts this 1184 right out the gates, and then right back up through 1225. We'll see what happens on this name. I'm going to set an alert there on 1216 on USAR. We can set an alert there at the 15, and I'll let you know as those start to push through that. That's not a bad trade to look at. We'll see if we can catch her that one. All right, got a lot more for you guys out there. Let's keep it going. We'll take a look at some different trades out there. I'll look into the streets also to see if I see anything else being talked about. All right, PayPal just introduced PayPal links, a new way to send and receive money through personalized one-time links that can be shared in any conversation. So pretty much PayPal trying to come after more of the space that they're already kind of in, right? But hey, I don't think that's going to be anything price moving. Let's see what happens on PayPal today. See if that maybe can help it lift. You can see it's trying to prop this morning. Can PayPal get off the ground? I don't know. Not one that I'm feeling too confident about. DraftKings, let's go. Come on down to Papa. Papa needs to get us down to 43 today. We'll be looking at it. All right, guys. You guys keep throwing up tickers in the chat. We'll keep going through some of those. Jay Angelo in the house. What's up? Money Mitch for the win is right. We're coming after it today. I might need some music background here, but I don't know. How are these tunes here that are here? I don't know. Let me see. Let me see what's going on with this. I might have to control the music here. All right, let's bring the music down for a second. Let's see how this sounds. I need some music here. All right, the slow hip hop. I don't think that's gonna do it for us, man. All right, a little more joyful. Okay. Let's go. Started the morning right. Money Mitch here. All right, there you go. Nice and low so it doesn't take over. All right, let's keep it going, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's Money Mitch. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we can come up with. Good morning to you, Alex Fernandez. Like that name. Still remember a good picture by that name. But yeah, shout out to you, Alex. How we doing out there? Trader Life, good morning to you. Happy trading. Jay Angelo saying, here you go. Jay Angelo coming in with a stock check. Because it's good to see you out there, Trader Life. All right, check. Diagnostics, $3 stock there. Getting the breakout on the 1 minute here just recently. So nice looking pattern. Got back above, kind of a flag pattern. Broke out above. Did a pattern 2, pattern 3. So in my eyes, maybe you get one more attempt to break out in this. I don't see too much more, but we'll see what happens on it. It does have a nice pattern right now. You're seeing some attempts to try to break out. Right, and you're also seeing some attempts to try to come back to a support and hold. I'd look to the left and really kind of look to where this resistance was. Are you finding support, right? And this could be the attempt to do the liquidity move, right? Somewhere in here, I think you get this liquidity attempt. So I'm looking for a liquidity attempt back towards 285s and then back above 3 for check. Wash out the morning buyers. Come back through 325 is a way that I could maybe look at check today. We'll see what happens there. All right, we'll keep it moving. Let's go. Check is one that definitely we can watch out there. Let's see what else is out there. All right, what's going on out there, guys? Money Mitch, 4,000 payout yesterday off of that 100K account. That is what I'm talking about, my friend. My boy Trader Life getting that money. Hey, Trader Life, I would love a good dinner. So, you come by sometime, Orlando, Florida or something, let me know. We can go out, my friend. Hey, it's good to see you making that cash, and payouts is what it's all about, man. At the end of the day, that's what we're all here for. So keep getting that money, and it's always good to see money being pulled out, right? Because that's what we're looking for, guys. Hey, we're all rooting for you guys. I'll tell you one thing. I'm always in your corner, ready to fight, guys. Let's go. Let's see what else is out there. I'm looking at Grab, says Alex Fernandez. Let's take a look at Grab. This morning's all about you guys too, so keep those stocks going. There's no reason why I can't look at your stock that you're watching, right? We can take a look at the other ones, but yeah. Ooh, Grab's breakout is actually pretty wicked here. This is actually pretty impressive. Thanks for bringing this up, Alex Fernandez. I didn't really see how clean of a breakout this was, and this is pretty clean through the 550. The key here is, let's see the volume that we're actually getting, right? That's one thing that'd be a little bit concerned. And no, you're getting the volume needed. That 100 millions is just as strong as it was on this breakout of November. So you haven't seen this type of volume since back here when it was trying to break out in February and March. This is actually looking really, like, dare I say, like a stock that's trying to make a bigger move, right? And so at this point, we can look for pullbacks to 550s. But other than that, I think this is actually trying to make a nice breakout. So looking for a quick move down today and then a recovery of this stock would be an approach I would like. If not, more strength right out the gates could be another way to kind of play this, where it just continues to break out through the highs, especially through this kind of like high right here, the 614, if it just pushes through there. But what I could see is it retracing some of that drive on Friday, maybe a quick down move out the gates to like 570 or 560, and then starts to come back up during the day, right? And then starts to work its way back up. So I like this name. I'd keep it on the radar. It's definitely hot and one to keep a watch out. So we'll see what happens with that. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going. Big Milkshake. I've mentioned 3 tickers. Let's go. Let's take a look at those 3 tickers. We got Oracle, FIG, and ATCH. Let's run through those. Oracle, definitely, of course, with the big move on last week. Let's see if it can continue. I think it might go into the 90 MA, maybe a 290s, but it looked like it held 300. So for the short term, we can just trade off of that 300 level. I think that's what I'm going to be watching today. It broke 300. It's pushing off of that. If we can get any pullback towards 301 or 300, I will play with you, but it looks good for upside action. We'll see if it can continue higher. All right, FIGT. Is that the right one there? Let me see if I got that right here. FRGT. All right, Freight Technologies there. Not a bad one to mention there. Definitely breaking a breakout towards 3. Has that one up move, pull back, second up move. I'm looking for one more pullback into that, right? So we're looking to develop the pattern a little bit more and looking for kind of a pullback into this space, right? So come back into this spot. This is where the support is. This is where I'd be looking to kind of play dip buys, right? So you get this big drive up. You're getting this kind of ladder approach, right? Where you're getting waves down, waves back up, waves down, right? So I'm looking for like a wave down into this kind of 250 zone, a wave back into this. Then maybe we get one more pullback, because I'd like to see that third pullback even test down into this spot and then really get going. So that's kind of how I see FRGT. We'll look at this later into the open and see how it played out into this area, right? It can go even as further back into this support area, right? So just be careful. We'll see what happens there on FRGT with Freight Technologies. ATCH, let's go to that one. Last one there, I'll take a look at from my man Milkshake. This one, 1 move, 2 moves, 3 moves, 4 moves. This one seems tired out. Maybe it does like a $1.20 move, but I don't see too much more than that. These that are 90 cents, a lot of times they go to like $1, $1.20, but then they start coming right back down. All right. What do we see here? And it's cheap. It's like 70 cents there, 570. Yeah, the Grab. It's not a bad one. And it definitely shows me for Grab, Alex, that it's more of an institutional style buy. So where someone's been doing what? It's called accumulation, right? There's accumulation of volume on that chart. And so when you have all that like months of accumulation, it leads towards that ramp up. All right, here's one FNMA from my man Rando. Fannie Mae. You're going Fannie Mae. You guys are still doing this trade? They're still doing it? Yeah, they're still doing it, man. I've done this trade before in the past, and man, I missed out on another big attempt on this. This used to be, I traded this back then in like kind of this 2013 run. But man, what a kind of run right there, man. Look at that run, man. That's just been incredible. It still stayed strong there too. So maybe pullbacks here towards the 9 EMA is one way to kind of continue the party. Another thing to look at is the 9 EMA still holding, right? The light blue line. If the light blue line gives up, I'd be a little concerned. But right now, that's a trend trade that continues higher. All right, let's see what else is being mentioned out there. Big seller at 96 cents on that one. Big milkshake. Here's one here, PSKY. Paramount Skydance, right? With the Warner Brothers move. This one looks like it's probably going to come back down. I don't know. I don't believe this one too much, guys. I'd like to trade more the WB breakout. Of course, this one already broke out on Thursday, so it's kind of hard to play this. But these can pull back just as fast, right? So it's getting the breakout. Of course, PSKY is buying out the WBD. So I think one of these is going to pull back this week. The question is when, and I'm a little concerned about these. But they are a nice breakout, right? But I think that these are hard to kind of keep going for the long run. All right, 1750 on that. We'll see. It could be a nice approach right back to the kind of the EMAs, right? And then it reloads. That kind of makes more sense for me. All right, guys, we'll keep taking a look out there. And DraftKings does have a bid down to 43.69 now. So at that point, I'm looking really good. I'm trying to get this down there, guys. If I could get this down into that spot, we can make a nice $300, $400 winner today in DraftKings. Let's see if we can do that out the gates here. So out the gates, I'm going to be focused on DraftKings, but I'll still be looking for day trades. I'm just going to be trying to master in and hone in on this DraftKings trade, which I did take a loser on Friday. So it's kind of like one of those trades where I need to not only make my money back on one loser, but I'm also trying to kind of get a little bit of some profits, right? Continue the push into the green. Had a really good day on Friday on multiple trades. Got to keep pushing, guys. Let's go. All right, we can go to my watch list now and just take a look at the trades that have been doing well against the market. So one has been outpacing the market in drives. Well, this APLD, you guys know I'm a big fan of APLD. I've talked about it countless times here for multiple trades, and now it continues higher. Now up there to $19. We were talking about this one at 10. We were talking about this one at 14. I gave it to you again at 16, and now it's at 20. So we'll look to see if this one can continue to run and continue pushing through that 21 as it's been hot, hot, hot. I think a pullback might be in play, but boy, oh boy, is it hot. All right, let's keep going. We can just pull this to the left and make it easier so that you guys can keep running with some of these names. Bloom Energy, one of the monster stocks of the year for sure, has been on a straight takeoff, and I've been talking about this play since 35. Yes, 35 is when I first brought this name to you guys here on Trade the Pool. It's up 80% from that. So we'll see what happens with that. It's been a huge run there in Bloom Energy, but you can keep an eye out to see if that can keep on the push. RCAT, of course, a big push on Thursday. Friday, inside day, perfect inside day. So an undercut of 11 today is an easy way to undercut the trend line and then rally this RCAT. That's what I'll be watching for. BTBT, another one to look at to see if it finally wants to get going. I think this one needs a lot of volume to push through 307 and then climb, but it's not a bad one to set an alert, right? Because the chart's just perfect, and if the chart's perfect, we want to keep an eye on it, guys. ARM is another one that I think is setting up for a bigger run here, guys. I think too many people underestimate this chart, right? So I'm going to actually delete all the lines, and I'll show you it on a monthly approach. On a monthly approach, this is really developing really well. And so I think that this tells me what? Like we just talked about with Grab, when you have monthly charts like this that go sideways, it gives the big boys, not the small boy, the big boy, the opportunity to load up a big size position and make a big trade. So for me, ARM is definitely a buy through 170. I just need to watch it and try to catch it before 170. So we just got this big break, right? So what do I need to look for? I need to look for what they call the throwback look, right? Where do you bring this back to give me the opportunity to come back into the play? It's going to be somewhere around this resistance to this support. So it doesn't need to be exactly this, but somewhere around that 146 zone. Ooh, I definitely want to be watching. So if we can pull back into that, maybe it's not today, maybe it's the next day, tomorrow, and then we're back at 146. I want to watch ARM on the pullback. IonQ, the quantum names really ripped last week and really pushed. IonQ, new high, and that tells me more and more. Watch for these to continue ripping. QUBT, definitely on the radar today. It can pull back a little bit, but it's hot, hot, hot. We'll see if this can just continue to climb. Rigetti, same boat, right? We can start to look to see that these continue to climb higher. So now you can look for throwback looks, or you can just look for takeoff. Takeoff could be right back through the $20 today on Rigetti. So these are definitely names that I would keep my eye on to see how much they want to run. AEVA, of course, a recent auto parts name, has pulled back a significant amount, now starting to try to get out of the range. We'll look to see if it can play out of this range and actually push stronger. It has been strong as of late, but nothing that I think that you need to rush out to go look at. Hood, of course, continues to come out with more and more features now that will, I think, really help them. They're really pushing out there in Hood. It's not a name that I'd be betting against. Clean Spark, you can see how it's been trying to build up and go back for another run. We'll look to see if the miners want to make a run. This is actually a decent looking weekly chart. The only question is, does it really want to run? I don't know. It's hard to trust these. I think you got to wait for a breakout above 1060s here, but it's in play. It's in play. Pony, another one, AI play that has been trying to get the move, but really hasn't. A lot of people watch this name. But I just think it's not really developing the way I want it. I'll watch for it above 16, but it's nothing that stands out to me right now. It's just more like a slow stair step that's kind of hanging in there. TEM, another name that has a recent breakout with Grail. These names definitely strong. Inside day on Friday, so could get another pullback day, but these names are not bad to watch. GRAL, I kind of like a little bit more here because Tempest already like kind of took off. So I'd be looking at this GRAL to see if it can take that next step up here. It's 9:24. We're going to keep running through trades. Of course, you guys know how I feel about SoFi. It could be the next Palantir, and it's continuing higher now, almost to 28s. I've talked about it since back here at 16, guys. I actually have a friend that has a position in there at 16 because I was talking to him about it. And look at that. That's, from 16, we're talking already 72% higher. Yes, correct, 72%. So it's been an absolute monster winner here in SoFi. And of course, Shah, that you continue to play Tesla. I hope you just continued to cash. So, hey, shout out to you out there. All right, SoFi, definitely one of the strongest names, and I don't think it's turning around anytime soon. DocuSign, all right? We'll look at this one to see if it keeps pushing. The chart just looks pretty. So looking for an 82 break. These are sometimes what I talk about, like we don't have to make things hard. This is a really pretty chart. If it breaks above that 82, it could start going back to 90 and 100. Good risk to return here in Docu. We'll see what happens there. Archer, of course, could go with Joby and other names, so keep your eyes on that as we look for those to continue stronger. LAC, lithium names, continuing to watch them for the bigger breakout. LAC would be a $3 breakout. SQM is reloading in here around the 42. So I think this is one to watch for another move back towards 50 if you guys are looking for longer term swing trades. FLNC, my rinse and repeat style trade. I'm going to continue to rinse and repeat it. I've had some losses, had some wins on it, but I tell you what, I win more than I lose. So I'm going to be watching for another undercut of 7 and a move back above 725. So that's on the swing account, of course, and we'll be watching for that. I'm even set the alert right now because that stock just loves to give me a good return, and I don't want to miss it if I can get it again. All right, we'll see what happens out there and what other positions we can come up with today. as we'll be looking to cash in on this DraftKings out the gates. I'm up about $100 now on DraftKings. Looking for DraftKings to keep going further down, but we'll see what happens on that name. Yeah, a nice close towards 43 would be a nice push there. All right, catching up out there, and yes, definitely shout out to you. I know that you're a Tesla trader, so I try to catch those comments out there. And you're started your position in BE at 25. Rando, my friend. Mwah, mwah. That's cash money, man. Can't be mad about that at all. Rando, that is a hell of a position, man. That's a great position. Rubrics, another name that just completely wiped out some bulls last week. So watch out for this one as it completely wiped them out. Apple, of course, you guys know how I feel about Apple. I think that's one of the best names to look at in the market. So we'll see if that can continue to push. HSDT, can that one push again? I'll keep an alert on it. It's nothing that I really want to trade, but hey, we can watch it, right? We can watch it. We're going to do a lot of trading today. I'm going to try to stay small and trade often. So if you guys see a lot of positions, let me know in the chat if there's anything you guys have questions on. We'll get ready to get after it. It's 9:27 here. We got about 2 minutes before the bell, a little bit over that. Time to get ready, guys. A little bit of some coffee, a little bit of some action. Let's keep going. Let's keep talking out there. One thing I do want to state, though, is did you guys see our interview with Michael Katz? I need to find that interview right now and give you guys that interview because, man, what a great interview it was. I was watching it this morning, and if you guys haven't caught it, I definitely would recommend to go ahead and check it out. I'm going to give you the link to it to check this out later. This is definitely a longer interview, but I think you guys will really, really enjoy it, guys. So just give me a second here. Let me see if I can bring it up. I want to bring it up here. Just give me a second here, guys. Had it ready just a little while ago. It's on the Titans of tomorrow. So if you guys haven't seen these interviews, I mean, you got to check them out, man. Here it is. Share the link. Boom. Throw this up in the chat. All right, so open that link for me and then just hit watch later or that you want to see it later, guys. I promise you guys, cool interview Michael Katz did talking about trading and just overall that channel for trading, really cool videos with interviews of traders. So if you like that kind of content, check it out, guys. Open talked about by Big Milkshake. We can take a look. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Getting some down action in DraftKings already. Let's go. DraftKings breaking down right here, going towards the 43.40s already here. So, sorry, just taking a look at that. If it breaks 43.40s, I'm already up almost 300 there. So, I'm looking for maybe a move to 43s. I don't mind just cashing here in the pre-market. I don't need to get crazy with it. If I can get 43 here in the pre-market, I'll take it and run. All right, got 200 out there right now to try to take some profits towards the I'm up like about 195 right now. Looking for a little bit lower trade there. 9:30 coming in here, guys. Market's opening. Let's get after it, guys. Looking to cash them in here on DraftKings already here. Let's get after it, guys. Let's cash them in here. Boom, boom. 43.18 there already. Cashing some. Now I can leave a stop on this at 43.20s. Right where I just cashed them and just let it go. Let's see if it can break the 43s here. If it breaks the 43s, I'm really looking golden here. Here's 42.95s, looking really good here. Now it's starting to bounce a little bit here. So this is where I can go ahead and set a stop right above it. I'm going to do like 43.40s to give myself a little bit of room here. But there it is, guys. Trade out there, cashing in this morning. Not a bad trade at all right now. You guys can see it here. And it's breaking down further, right? So this was the attempt back towards the low. I took some off there at the 43.20s, maybe 20 cents more, could have helped, but it's really not too big of a difference here. Now looking for this 43 to break and go further. FLNC giving me alert, so I'll go looking at that, but great trade here now, guys. As this continues down, I'm going to actually put a trailing stop and just let this go. Right, so let this kind of work with the action. Now 42.80s here, looking really good on the trade here. As this breaks down, I'll just kind of trail it on the action to the downside break here. There's 42.70s. Really great trade here on a swing in DraftKings live right here in front of you guys. So there you guys have it. Now down there and really starting to break down here. So at this point, I'm going to actually take the stop off. I'm going to look to drive up the stop towards like under 43s here because I just want to cash in on this. So it just bouncing off that 43. I'm giving it a chance to bounce off that 43. Let's see if it rejects this 43 and then cuts 42.60s. Just bouncing a little bit here. Wanted to take profits, but you guys saw it there. It just bounced really quickly. Definitely coming back fast here. Let's see if it just rejects his 43.40s right here. That's about the max that I'll give up. Give it up about $50 here. Of course, I don't have too much now. I only have 100 shares, but there you go. Come on, reject that right back down. It's also on the 5 minutes, right? So I'm like not on the shorter time frame here. So here's a shorter time frame so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Looking for a VWAP rejection, not a 9 EMA rejection, but I'm willing to risk up to 43.40s. The VWAP is right at this 43.20s. It went down to 42.60. So if we reject VWAP here, we could go and break 42.60s. So I'm just looking for a quick rejection here. If not, going to get out. There's a rejection coming in here. Now we're going to go ahead and now that it's at 42.26, if it gets to 43, I can put my stop right here at 43.30s and just let this trade go. All right, I'm going to let it go here because I'm going to go work on some other trade out there. 43, let's do 46 here. Give it a little room here to see if it just rejects. If it just spreads up and gets me, you'll know, and I'll take the extra 85. Good trade, though, overall. I'll be proud of that trade. Good trade out the gates here. Maybe could have closed down there towards that 42.60s and 42.80s, but that's just me being a little bit picky, right? Not going to be mad about that. Great trade at the open here. Haha, pun intended. ATCH, let's go. Atlas Clear Holdings. All right, this one really looks like it has the potential to go, and it's been going since Friday, so definitely a big move. That looks like it's in a halter, so we'll see what happens on that name. FLNC trying to get up there, trying to get the move here. We'll see if it gets going. All right, setting a new alert on that. Just going to go look at stocks that are making a nice trade action here right out the gates here. Ouster getting a little lift. NNE, UUU. We talked about that. Slight undercut at 12 and a move right back above. So UUU, definitely a name. I like trading here. I'd like to see a 12 pullback on this if I could get it. If it can come back to 12, I'll definitely buy it here. So I'm going to set an alert at 12.05. Comes back, I'll take a shot on UUU. I don't want to chase up here to 12.16, but it does look good there. USAR, we'll look to see if that can get right back above. It's trying to reload out that 14. AUR Lemonade, another name, getting a little bit of a spike there. I was already watching for that, so looking for some pullbacks on Lemonade, though, back to like 54. All right, looks like we're getting another undercut there for DraftKings. Yeah, DraftKings hanging in there. It's trying to reject, trying to get right back down, but kind of bouncing around right now. Let's see if it gets hit right back through the 43s. Good trade there on DraftKings. There you go. Getting hit again is DraftKings. Let's see if it just fades off here. Looking for a fade. So fade off the VWAP, right? So you can see that dotted line, looking for it to come right back down here. Definitely getting tested up here. It looks like it's hitting some stops right now. You might get a small expansion here and then the pull right back down. So about to take the money and run though. There's the expansion and pull back down. Now I need to see a quick sweep back to 43s. There's a quick sweep. Now I want it to go red candle and then just hold off of that. So right now I can put like right above this 1 or 2 cents. So I'm putting a stop there, 43.49, and I'm walking away and looking for this to crash down. I could also look into the space to kind of go after different names in this space, like RSI could start breaking, right? All these kind of gambling stocks could start to break down a little bit there. But yeah, this is not a bad one. Win is another one that I'm looking at for short here as the resort starts to crumble a little bit here on this trade. Not a bad trade here. I need to bounce back to VWAP. All right, let's go to the overall market. I'll let you guys know if I get that trade back on Win, back up there to the 121s. We'll see if it gets back there towards at least 120.60s and then starts to bounce a little bit. We can maybe short some of those names. All right, looking at you guys in the chat, trying to catch all those names in there. I'm seeing Riot mentioned in the chat, so let's take a look at the Riot. We'll see if it can get back above the 16, kind of holding in the same way the other miners are looking. They're trying to go, but not really going. Let's see if they go today. UUU holding in there on that 12 break. I talked about it. Would this one get going? Undercuts 12. It does get going. Tried to get back there to 12.05. I had an alert right here. It didn't even hold up. UUU, strong out the gates. That's why I mentioned that one with USAR. I hope you're able to catch that one. Who mentioned USAR again? I just want to make sure that I caught that. Sorry about that. Now I know why it's so loud. Grab is another one that mentioned out there. We'll take a look to see how that one's doing today. Grab pulled back there. Kind of what I thought. That pullback right into the spot, right into that 560, 555 spot, and now starting to climb back. That's how they do it to you guys. They wash it, and they start to bring it back. Not a bad one to look at. It could start to get going right back through 6. We'll see what happens there in Grab. That's not a bad one to look at. I kind of like it off that kind of bottoming. Let's take like 200 shares on that. Nothing crazy. It's not going to make me a lot, but I just want to take a lot of trades today. So we're going to take a trade on that, and we're going to risk 40 bucks. Long there on that. DraftKings cashed. So I might reshort it here, though. Just looks good to reshort, guys. So I made some money, and it looks like it's going to come right back down. It just caught me out, and I think it could come right back down. So I'm going to look to see if it rejects that 43.50s and risk right off of that. Might swing it right back down, right? So like just keep playing the rinse and repeat on the swing trade. Sometimes that's the best trade. Look at that grab start to come right back up. Right off of that dip, right back up, man. Also mentioned here, LRE. We can take a look at some of those small names for sure. I'm seeing BIAF. It's another one, a small name with some good volume. LRE. Real estate. Not a bad one. Trying to break 3, right? That grab still looking pretty good. Pull back on that one. Back towards like 580s. I don't mind adding. There's that rejection on DraftKings again here. All right, now getting after that DraftKings again here. I'm going to risk about $28 of the money that I just made. So reshort here on the swing for DraftKings. So just reshorting it. So I got cut out. I took the money and ran. Now I'm getting back in because that gave me money. That was a $300 trade. There we go. Back into the green there in DraftKings. Looking for it to come right back down here, guys. Grab looking really good there. It could start to take 6 and then really start to move here. So Let's see if that can start to take 6 and go. All right, the grab is looking really good. I'm stepping up to the plate a little bit here, looking for that to start to climb a little bit higher here and get through 6. Once it gets through 6, I can go break even and just let it run. Looks good there. 590s to getting hit there. I'm looking for that take a 6 there. DraftKings starting to run into my direction. Looking good there. At this point, I can set a stop above at 43.52s and let this work. Looking for this to break back down through the 43s and lower, which gives me a risk to return here of about, I can see like 97 ticks for 14. I can do that all day. DraftKings bouncing a little bit here, looking for it to come right back down. I'm down about 12 bucks right now, just keeping an eye on it, but grab looking really good there. Got to go over to the sector here and to give you guys at least an outlook. Trying to keep you guys up with the market, trying to keep you guys up with trades. It's a fun day, busy one for me, but I'm willing to do it for you guys. ARM, remember I talked about ARM being one of the best trades that I could see in the market. That is looking awesome, guys. It's starting to break out. I don't know if there's an ARM leverage trade, but I talked about this setup because it looked pretty. Off the 153, breakout indeed there in ARM, guys. We just talked about this trade. Really, really nice setup there as that starts to break out. We'll see if that can just continue higher there. Not a bad trade there in ARM. UUU going higher. Rubrics coming back there. Snow going higher. SoFi, talked about that one. Coin, Lemonade, let's see if that one gets going. Pony starting to try to pony up. We'll see if it can actually pony up or not. Looking around out there to see what else is making a move there. DocU, we talked about that setup there. It's starting to push there towards the 81. Could go to 82. Not a bad little setup there in a higher price name. Would look for a pullback there a little bit, but now you're back towards the 81. Looking good there. All right, DraftKings looking awesome here, guys. We'll look to see if this can really just get hit now and just start to crumble down here. Let's see it. Looks good. UUU just got the quick pullback there in UUUU. So there it is. Now we get an opportunity on UUU. Let's see if we can grab this and continue higher. If I look at the sector outlook, I'm looking into it. I see technology leading, utilities behind that, financial services doing well. What's not doing well? Energy and defensive cyclical names. So technology being led by electronic gaming stocks here. Some of these gaming stocks doing really well today. Let's take a look at that. Roblox up there about 1.7%. Looking around to see what else is taking a lead there. EA having a decent day. Take-Two having a decent day. So it's definitely a move there. Google going higher. I talked about how Google's strength and the big boys have continued. Now Meta getting hot there. So definitely getting some hot action. Reddit going higher as another name that's been hot as of late. That's continued the trend. So that looks really good there. I'm seeing TSM up that I've talked about that has been on a breakout. Even Palantir into the green. Let's see if that can continue green today. AMD, big pullback. I was worried about that high here kind of coming into play. Definitely a pullback and a kind of a rip attempt here. Here's UUU back down to 212s here. I'm going to take another trade here. Oof, it's a little lag there. Got 1204s when I should have got 12s there. Not the biggest deal, but we'll see if that can kind of play in there as I take a trade here in UUU. I actually really like this setup off of the 12s. It can recover 1220s and really get going here. So let's see if it can start to get going towards that 1220s. I can take an ad and really start to push. All right there, guys. You guys see two trades on there. Net on grab looking really good here. Now 597s looking really good there. Let's go for an ad right here before the 6 break here. Let's see if it really wants to go. So now we got 600 of grab. I'm adding up. I'm taking the trade. I'm going for the cash here. Let's get it. All right, guys, starting to get that push there in grab. Looking for a nice like kind of breakout here now. Definitely if it goes to like 615s above that, we can really start to look for that to kind of drive and lead the party here. Now back to 1209, so looking pretty good there, guys. Let's see if it can start to get back through kind of the 1210s, and I can add here and then look for the bigger win here also in UUU. There we go, adding on UUU. We're looking good here for these trades, so I'm stepping up to the plate here with them. Let's see if they can really start to drive there. UUUU and grab. Of course, came back to the 12s, gave me the shot there. Now looking for it to take off here on the daily. Daily chart could start to come back to 1250s. Let's see if that really wants to make the move here. Back through 12 can tell me also to get out, right? That's what I love about this trade. Let's see if it really wants to make a flying action happen here. FLNC did pull back there. Still looking good there on the swing action there. So I might take a shot on that. Win is bouncing back there. Also a potential short. DraftKings came back up there, came back down. It's just playing around. Just be careful above 43.50s for the squeeze, but definitely got to be careful with that name. Just trying to play in here and look to see what happens with it. I like FLNC also on the long, so I got to be careful because the exposure that I have here doesn't leave me much room to take FLNC. I might have to take it on the day trade side. FLNC is still a great trade here. I've done this one before, and it's worked out so much that I'm going to take a bigger shot here on this one. Let's go for it. All right, taking a bigger shot on FLNC in the day trade account. Let's see if this one we can just push really quickly. I'm going to hold it off the low, which is only about 8 cents risk. Looking for the quick breakout to sell it into. You guys see the trade right there. 2,000 shares. Yes, you heard that right. 2,000 shares. Let's go. All right, grab. Trying to break 6 here. So we're looking really good on grab. Once it approaches 6, I can go ahead and just hit the stop there. Just look for this to run. All right, I'm doing stop break even now. It looks like it's about to hit 6. That looks almost golden there. Now I need to go focus on the other trades here. UUU add is definitely one trade that I'm focusing on. Looking for that to break out above the 1220s. And then I can go ahead and stop break even. Look for this to run. If it runs, it runs. That's what I'm looking for. These types of trades is what I'm looking for today. There's a nice push there. Now I can hold below that towards the $11.95, $50 risk, and just let this trade work here on UUUU. Starting to get back up there, looking really good here. So now looking for this to kind of push right back above that and make the breakout. DraftKings still playing with me there. I got to set the risk because I can't keep my eyes left and right here. So I'm trading a lot, guys. You guys let me know what you guys are seeing in the market. If you guys see any stock you guys want to talk about, keep throwing them up. You guys see me trading fast and furious today. Let's go. All right, now we're starting to get that FLNC. I want that to drive through 725s and then just really start to get back above that. That's going to tell me that, yes, I picked it and timed it right. Let's see if it wants to go now. Moving over to the grab as it should have broke 6, so I'm looking for the 6 break now. Getting a little pullback in that FLNC, so just keeping it close because remember, that's a big position size, so we want that to ride up fast on FLNC. Just do like a big breakout to 8. Still looking at this DraftKings, still rejecting, still rejecting, still rejecting, still rejecting. So trying to be patient. All right, looks good now as it starts to break down. We'll see if it starts to really kind of cut down again. It's still just playing around a little bit, so just be careful if you guys are looking at that DraftKings on the short side of things. Getting tested now on that DraftKings a little bit. It's just back and forth. It's staying within the range, though. There's UUU. There's a clean 6 attempt there for grab. Looking good there, guys, as we get to $69 up on that one. Looking for a nice little breakout here now towards like the 615, 620s here to cash in here on grab. Let's see if we can get a quick move. There's 9,000 shares there going through at 599. So the next kind of wall I can see on this name could put it up there towards above the 608. So let's see if this just drives now. There's DraftKings now starting to cut down a little bit further here, guys. So what I want to do is I want to put a limit back towards 43.50s just to put a little pressure on the stock. Like I'm willing to short it back up here. So you bring it back up here, I will short some more. Let's see what happens now if DraftKings really wants to break down. Trendline approach is coming into play, so we're getting that attempted breakdown below the trend line on DraftKings. Looking really good there. There's UUU looking better too. All the day trades looking really good here. Now just looking for them to send. There we go. Now starting to get a better lift there in UUU, better lift in FLNC. There's FLNC now to 723s. So in a second here, we can get a nice little push there where we're already up $200, $300 if we can get that quick push in FLNC. There's UUU now starting to push there. Grab. Let's go. Let's get through that 6. Let's get back up there. We drew this trade out in pre-market. We're nailing on it, executing it. That's what it's all about sometimes, just nailing what you see, right? So right now I got some pretty good trades on, and they're working. They're working, so time to let them work. UUU going higher and looking really good here. Now back towards 1222s, looking for the high of the day break there. All right, looking really good on that UUU. If I can get one more drive, let's say to 1230, 1240s, I don't mind selling into that move here. Not looking for an insane amount. I'm looking for triple digits on these trades and then going to start cashing in on them. Looking good on that DraftKings trade as it comes to 43.30s. Now at this point, if it breaks 43.20s, I can go ahead and just stop, break even, and just forget about the trade. In the green, setting up for another green trade. That's what you try to do as traders, guys. Here goes FLNC trying to break that 723 on the upside. It's trying to break out here. Remember, I got 2,000 shares of this, so you just got to be very careful, calm, looking for the break. Looking for the break above 725s here. Let's see if we get it. There goes to the attempted break of 6 here for grab. So we're trying on grab. Just haven't been able to get clear breakage. But it's stair-stepping and going higher. That's what we want to see sometimes. All right, got some alerts there. FLNC breaking that alert. That's a good move there. Let's go, FLNC. Come on. Break that 725, break it, let's go. All right, getting a good run there in FLNC. Looking for another little push here towards 740s. That could be a nice $300, $400, $500 winner. Let's go, guys. Sound that alarm. You guys know where you're at. It's Money Mitch. He's focused in. He's ready. Knock, knock on the door. Ready for the cash. Let's keep it going. Let's see if we can start with a nice trade here. All right, up 150 now on that as we get towards the 730s. And really the 728 is an important spot. That's where we get above 10 cents there and really start to drive on this name. All right, we'll look to see if it can continue driving here. Look at grab go now to 604, 605. So now we're looking really good on that name. Now to 605, looking gravy in there. We're going to go ahead and put a 10-cent stop at 598 and just let this start to work and climb higher. But look at that, 606, 607, looking good there in grab. Shout out to my man in the chat Brought the Grab stock this morning. I think that was Big Milkshake. Was it? Let me go back. Really going to give due where due is needed here. So Grab, good move there. I think that was Alex Fernandez, my man with Alex. There you go, Alex Fernandez, cashing in on your stock that you brought up this morning. You didn't tell me how to trade it, but I definitely like the setup there. I talked about the way that I was looking at it, and now we are starting to climb there. $102 there available to me right now. Might take the cash here and then just try to ride this FLNC trade. Looking really good, though. Grab almost $100, FLNC $100, UUU 32. So looking good here, guys. I'm going to put a stop here just slightly before this push at 6 to see if it just continues to drive. If it comes back through 6, I'm willing to let go of it. Now I have the stop set there, 72, now 608. So looking really good on that break of Grab, a 620, and I'll just sell it. So I'm looking for like a nice little drive up there to 620, 625s, and I can sell all of it there. We're already pushing there, so I can just, I'm gonna actually put a trailing stop on this and just let it work. I'll tell you guys when I cash in on that name. DraftKings now going down, so that looks great there on the swing, guys. You guys see me focused in today. I'm not talking about too many stocks today because normally that's what I can do when I have someone else on the stream. But right now I'm focusing on just nailing my trades right now, and that can sometimes be a really good force. So now DraftKings really looking good here. It's starting to break. I'm actually going to put a limit order to add on this near my entry here and look for this to start really winning. So now I'm like, come back to me and I'll actually add on you. I'm looking for the win now. We'll see if DraftKings can break through the 43.17s and really start going lower. Back above the 43.24s will be my alert on the upside of things. And it goes really quickly to that downside break there. So looking good for the break there on DraftKings to get back down towards the 43s and cuts down through that 43. We'll be looking really good for another day trade here. Another swing, actually. There's 609, looking really good on that grab as it goes higher. Now up there towards that as that continues. Let's look for that to kind of keep pushing. It's looking really good here. 609s could take the 610s and really start to climb here. So I'm sticking to secure like just under $100 here at 603s, but let's go. Let's let that continue to push. So at least got that $100 there. Now looking really good. UUU looking like it wants to break the 24s. Looking like it wants to keep climbing. So we're looking gravy in that. We're going to go ahead and put a break-even stop now on that so that we can go focus in on FLNC. Now I can focus in on the one that can hurt me the most and also bring me the biggest return, right? So I got to be focused in on this. What am I going to do? I'm going to put a quick stop here, break even, and let the trade go. If it keeps going, we make a lot of money. If it gets back, I stop out and I ride the other two trades that are doing well and let those trades work, right? The ones that are working for me, I can, now I have a stop break even. I can go back to that grab, take off my stop and do a more of a mental stop, right? So now I'm going to show you guys that right from the screen where you don't get this type of action anywhere else. So here it is, guys, right here. You guys see grab on the screen. You guys will see me sell it. I will show you guys everything about this position, where I got in, right? 200 here at 57s, 200 at 59, 200 add at 50 at 597, looking for the 6 break. Let's see if this can go above that. Below 6, I can take the money and run, but looking for this to climb and maybe get towards the 620s. And then that would be a nice cash. 15-minute support came into play right at around yesterday or Friday or Friday's action right here, right? The 560s. Now looking for it to get back to pre-market high, 622s. If it gets back up there, we are golden. And now I have no stop, no target profit out, and that lets me keep trading. FLNC came and got me real quick. So that doesn't mean that it's not going to go higher. That does mean, though, that it didn't want to just completely break out to the moon. So that tells me I can reload in this name or take a different approach. DraftKings going down there, DKNG, we're looking really good on that trade. Now down to 43.08s. The limit that I was going to add, now I could add it and hold the rest break even. So I'm looking for the 43 break here. I'm going to put the add at 43.18s, but I'm only adding if it bounces, right? So I'm going to show you that trade right now as we keep going in grab and other trades. So here's grab coming back here where it's going to get close towards my stop. I think 6 is going to be the area where I could get out and then not be mad about this trade, right? But I just got to keep watching it. It might click 6 and then go right back up. So I'm going to go ahead and just put an 11-cent stop out there. But right here, you could cash if you just wanted to run to it. Looks good, and it looks like it could keep going, but I'm also not going to get too pretty with it here. Right? If I put out the 6 right now, though, it'll click me. So I'm just watching the price action really closely. DraftKings looking good there. I'm going to actually, let's see if I can get my limit filled here. Yeah, it's bouncing right there. It went right to the 9 EMA, so just be careful with that DraftKings. It did try to bounce a little bit there. A little bit too much. So I'm going to actually hold my stop, just break even now. So can't lose on the trade, but looking really good on this DraftKings. Can't lose on the swing. I feel perfect with that. 200 shares, good exposure on DraftKings. We'll see what happens on that one now. So I wouldn't want it to come back to VWAP now at this point. So I'll show you guys what that means. You see how it's hitting this 9 EMA. I wouldn't want it to be back at 43. This is where I had my ad, so it would have triggered there, but I got a little bit weary. My average is all the way up here at 43.38s. So I don't want to push too much and then bring my average down to 43.20s or 43.25s. Average should stay above the VWAP. So in this case, I'll just keep the original position and just let it work now. So you could also just take the stop off and just watch it and alert yourself above the recent high. So for me, that would be a recovery of 43.23s, and then I can put the stop out there, right? So let's go back to grab. Let's see if that can keep working here. Day trade starting to pull back a little bit, not holding in. It might do a slight undercut here of the 6 and then keep going. So I can give myself some room here at like the 598s or just break even. It could even add at this spot, right? Because this was my ad spot. So let's just give it a second here to see if some buying steps right back in and grab. All right, what's going on out there, guys? I'm going to go ahead and bring on the man himself. The green team wants to join the show. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, Mr. Money Bitch.
Man, how we doing?
Yeah, this morning's been really fun. It's been very active, pre-market to market open. So it's been a good time. How's the team doing over on your end? How are you doing? I was listening to your DraftKings analysis there. So
yes. DraftKings, really good cash overnight, and then trying to rinse and repeat it. Right? I love those types of trades where you take the cash, it bounces, and you go right back in it. Right? Use the cash you made, play with some of that house's money you made, and try to make some money, man.
Do you go back in full size, or do you at that point scale down a little bit to protect?
A little bit, right? Always a little bit, and the risks should be small. I think on the second trade, right? Mm-hmm. It's almost like you're like, are you just going to keep rewarding me? Because if you're going to keep rewarding me, I got no problem making money, right? Like,
right.
But if it's going to be one of those like kind of what I call instant gratification trades, where if it's going to work, it's going to let you know really quickly. All right, let's go take a look at what you're watching today. Of course, you just hopped on, so
yeah.
Let's go take a look here. I got you, my friend. There it is.
All right.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's get after it. Got your chart.
Boom. Yes, sir. Is it on
Ooh,
scene?
you going. Here it goes. You guys. So I'm going to actually cancel that break-even stop. You looking good.
Guys.
DraftKings going down. We're looking good. It's looking like a great day today, my friend.
Let's go. Guys, ATCH is paying too over here. I know some of you are watching it. ATCH selling off. Going into a down halt here, ATCH. I'm going to start scaling out a piece. I got 1,000 there. I'm going to go ahead and just take a quarter off on ATCH, but I was shorting it into that magic $29 dollar up over that dollar. Now, this is a lesson that we were discussing in here before with Money Mitch, and
Yeah.
since Money Mitch said it, that dollar area, I've had more conviction with this. Now, I love the euphoric moves towards resistance, but in addition to that, these penny plays, guys, the chat rooms aren't on them. They don't have the leverage, and so you don't see a lot of that sustainable, uh, uh, just continued momentum on these names. So was fairly convicted there. Got it. This halted up, and then right out of that halt, guys, it just was met with so much profit-taking selling pressure. And I was convicted on this. Did something else that Money Mitch has been helping me out with. That is sizing into it even when I'm green. Wow, something
Yeah.
too comfortable doing. But in trading, you got to learn to do the uncomfortable. It's a lot of it's psychology. Unless you got the bots like Nos, you got to do some of the uncomfortable things sometimes. So I got ATCH on the short. I'm kicking back with that position. Going to take profits along the way. And AIRE, this is another small penny play that's been up the last 4 or 5 days from what do we got, like 20-30 cents up towards $1.50-$1.60. So working a short on that play as well and kicking back outside of that. So what are you guys working? NAOV, James, you brought that one up. NAOV's got most of the attention in small cap land. I'm not sure if you saw that one, Mitch, but it's kind of in a void for me here. I mean, it just double topped in pre-market. Now we're halted down, as you pointed out. So certainly a lot of the momentum and attention in small cap land is there too.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is, especially at a time like this, you guys just try to find the consistency, right? Like at the end of the day, we're a lot of us are making money, and what we need to do is just keep it going, right? Just keep the party going along, right? Not trying to wreck one day, but continuing to take cash when it's available to us. Like right now, like DraftKings, right? It's available to me here, guys. Look at that. It's down there, right back down to the 4280s here. I'll put up my screen so that you guys can see it. And man, this is what we're talking about, guys. This is when we can start to kind of nail down DraftKings right back down, right? So taking the first move out the gates down, cashing in on that, letting it bounce to VWAP, shorting it again, just rinse and repeat it, right? Well, there it is, guys. And the fun part about this one was this is a trade that I've been talking about for weeks now. It just kind of played in towards, of course, right after the NFL season, right? So, boom.
Have you been swinging this, or are you
Yeah,
intraday?
dude, I played it both ways, Kevin. I called it on the long, and now I'm calling it on the short side, right?
Oh, that's
So,
beautiful.
that,
love
that's
that.
the beauty. That's the beauty
That's
of trading, right? Like you could call it on the long, and you could also call it on the short side, guys.
That's the beauty. I mean, nothing gets me more excited than a trader who's objectively like taking the long and short of it. I mean, this like purely like no bias there. You're just like trading the price action as is. You're just reacting versus predicting. That's what separates you over time. Like as newer traders, you do want to traders. We have the tendency to want to like predict action, but let's react. Let's react to what it's doing. Like Money Mitch said, it's bouncing off VWAP and it's doing it consistently. Why don't we just trade the VWAP? Don't make it too complicated.
Nope.
Why make it complicated?
All right, there you guys. I see it. Another stop placed into the green there for the swing. I already made 300 on this name, and I'm going to make at least another percent here, a full percent, no matter what. I'm putting this out there because I don't want to be greedy today. Normally, I would probably just leave this and let this keep working, but that's the support right here. I'm more than happy with just taking the money if it just ended right here. So that's why I'm putting the stop out. That's when I think it's okay to put the stop. When you're more than okay with the profits. Like if it just ended right there, the trade, you would be okay, right? You'd be happy with the trade. That's what you need to tell yourself sometimes. There it is. We're set and we're rocking and rolling. Look at that. It's going away from the 9 EMA, which is what I want to see. I want it to flush down this low of 42.70, going towards like maybe 42.50s, 42.40s, and then I'd cash. But the problem is a lot of people cash in this area, and that's why you're getting the volume spike right now. Right? That's someone cashing out 60,000 shares. You think they're going long there? No, they're just covering their short. So like, this is why I start putting out a stop right here. Cause I'm like, I'll give it a chance from here to keep going lower. But if it comes back, that's money in the bank. Let's go.
Money in the bank, Shoddy. What you think?
Hey,
I think there's
that's
a
what we're
song
here
about it.
for at the end, man. That's what it's all about, man. And ding dong, there's always another trade. So Kevin, what are you seeing out there? What's setting up? I know that you probably got some penny stocks that are setting up out there.
Man, there's been such clean action this morning in pre-market too, especially. Right now, I'm really kicking back, but check is certainly interesting. You can see I smacked that one in pre-market a few times for some scalps, but against the opens, not terrible. Most of the volume's on NAOV and small cap land, so as CHEK, I wouldn't. Certainly, there's some longs here, guys. Look at this. Look at this pattern, though. I mean, this is what I want to point out. You can make trading as easy or as complicated as you want. This has got lower highs forming against base support right around 320, and then it's just a descending triangle. It's a clean chart. So for newer traders out there, I suggest start with one setup. Focus on trading a descending triangle like this, where you have your clearly defined risk on it. You take the short against that, it snaps, sells off, halts down. I mean, you're up half a point on CHEK just like that when the risk would have been, I mean, that's easy. The risk reward is like 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Easy right there. So focusing in on one setup and then branching out, I think as you trade more, you will. I was watching a video this morning, Mitch, on some different CEO prop firm CEOs, and they were discussing like over 50, 100,000 trades that have gone on, and all the thousands of traders that have come through. Like, what are the pros and cons of traders that you're seeing? You know, where do they mostly make mistakes and whatnot? And it always boiled down to this essentially. Like a lot of traders, they over trade and they're over leveraging. So they said the leverage. This is what they were saying. The leverage was really keeping traders, from finding success, because so many see that leverage as a mechanism to get their account funded in one trade, and it always backfires on them. They said when traders start seeing risk and they stop over trading so much, that's when they start finding success. I couldn't agree more. What are your thoughts on that?
I couldn't agree more either, man. I'm taking some trades out here, so I'll let you guys know exactly what I'm taking here. I'm taking an Intel trade that I want to yell at Michael Noss because I'm sure he's probably still in it. I talked about how I think Intel's going to get hot, and Intel's doing pretty well today, guys, up a pretty good amount. And this is all based on, of course, the government kind of investing in them. I think what that's going to cause is that's going to cause some money managers and things like that to just be like, yeah, we need access now. You know what I mean? So if you're a money manager, you're one of those family fund managers, I think you're looking at Intel on this break and how most people are like, oh, I'll sell at 25. Look at that pattern. That's a really nice pattern. A really nice, what I talk about it, squat before they go, right? They cut it down before they rip it. Look how the chart is set up there. It's set up like it wants to rip. It breaks this support, this 2440s, and now what's happened? Strength after that. So I'm willing to take a shot here on the swing. I took a little bit here. I'm just looking for it to rip, and then I'll go break even. If not, I can just kind of get out with a small haircut and look for a re-entry at 2260. But it looks really good here. Intel, just ripping. And it's holding above here. So I'm just looking for a continued breakout. If not, I'll let it go and then look to reload. UUU came back and gave me a $50 gain there, but then cut me out. So at this point, that's okay. It was still a gain, and I'll just keep going with the trades. Let's go, guys. We're making money today.
Yeah, today's been pretty good. INTC, I like the daily, what we're seeing there too. I mean, a lot of good support down there at 24, so room to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, check is holding up against the open, guys. Check, so that one's working out still fairly well. And then NAOV, that double top at pre-market, the risk there, pre-market risk and resistance is working out so far as well. But yeah, today's been good. I mean, Money Mondays sometimes can be like the traders. You see hesitancy out there, like that dust settling as traders are getting back into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but this morning they're out.
Getting that pullback in Intel. I want to see it come quickly back up. If not, I'm going to cut it here, guys. So if I put my stop, I'll get hit right here. So there it is. There's that spreading right around where I want to stop out. So I just got to put it right there on the bid. If it comes and grabs me here, it's already telling me that I need to get out anyways. So at this point, it's either going to come right back up or get me out right on the low here. Thinking it hunts me at 23.12s, but that's okay.
Yeah, the hunts are the
The
worst.
hunts. But
God,
you
hunts.
gotta set what I call max loss at that point, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
it's usually like what it is like right now, where 23.17 would have been my stop, and it's hitting 23.17 on the last price, but the bid is now starting to come down. So like right now they're spreading it out, and they're gonna come grab me. They're grabbing me right now. Watch, bop, they grabbed me, right? Because they spread it out right there, and it actually causes a little bit more slippage on the loss there. 23.04 on the loss there because of the slippage. That's the kind of spreading out things that I talk about, right? So I'll even show you it on the chart so you guys can see it. This is what happens when you put out a stop, right? So this is why it's okay to do it when you need to protect yourself, right? Like in that case, I actually needed to protect myself there. So it's not a big deal. But you see it there, right? You see how it kind of skips there? It skips there.
Yeah.
That's liquidity search. That's liquidity. So it's stopping all the 23s right now. And then you might see a quick recovery on that 23, right? So we'll see what happens there. But hey, I'll take the bad with the good, right? We're not going to get every single trade in the green. Still having
Absolutely not. Yeah, yeah.
Still having a hell of a day. The slippage there was too much, though. That should have been more of a $50 loss than a $40 or $50 loss than a $70 loss. The slippage cost me there. It cost me that DraftKings extra, right? So that extra DraftKings just got cost there. And you guys know how I am. I'll show you it all. Up 308. Let's just keep working.
Good. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, you're certainly never gonna win every trade, and those
Never gonna win it.
expectations, yeah, you're gonna cripple you guys. But I mean, expectations are a visual representation of what you think is gonna happen. You gotta eliminate those. I see the cat in the corner of your screen. Has he or she ever fat fingered a trade for you?
Hendricks has. Hendricks
really?
has. Hendricks has taken a couple trades out here. Yeah, definitely. When Hendricks takes over, man. And then one of my kids actually closed the trade.
No.
He was like messing around. I was like looking at it on my phone, and he just like grabbed my phone, and somehow whatever he put his hand on closed the trade out. At least he closed his first green trade, right? So at least it was a green trade. But I was like, dude, I could have got more profits on that. He looked at me and he said, Mitch, you're getting greedy.
Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered.
All right, guys, we'll see what happens out there, guys. Grab looking good here. So I'm staying in the grab position, thinking about adding to it, but I've already had like 3 ads on this. So it's kind of like now let it work. Let it do its thing.
Let it work. Yeah, you're very good at that. Letting the trades kind of breathe, letting them work too on the
You
profit
have
side.
to. Because realize that you do the heavy work with entries, Kevin. Entries are our heavy work. That's our intensive focus work. Once we get in, the market has to do the heavy lifting. Let the market itself push your stock or drive it down. But if it's not doing that, that's telling you something too, right? Right? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for, right? So work really, really hard on entries and then let the market do the hard work after that. That's what swing trading is really about, but you can do it in any trading, right? So you work really, really hard to get a really good entry, and then from there, the market should reward you. And if it's not, it's telling you something that maybe you got the wrong timing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You really helped me with that. And in watching your funded interview too and seeing your risk reward, I mean, just the winning trades, guys, you got to just ignore the P&L there.
You're going to
Certainly,
lose.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But
So I'm trying to put that into practice today. Another edge traders that you guys can trade here, like NAOV. We went over the descending triangle on check, so put that
I like this.
put that in your toolbox. NAOV. I mean, look at this double top against Money Mitch. This pattern like shows itself every single day.
I wish I had thought this one. This one's pretty. This is pretty.
Yeah, I love shorting these plays against a lot of their even consolidation from pre-market, because longs are just in that consolidation looking for break even. So it just provides such a great entry with tight risk and a good amount of reward. Even here, slapping this thing against 15, and this thing pulls back 3 points. I mean, it doesn't get better than that risk reward on a play such as that in AOV. So it just halted up, monitoring that one at the moment, and check still heavy against 3. I'm just going to flip through a few and then just kicking back with AIRE, ATCH. AIRE, I feel like this one gives me vibes that she has some room to fade. And it's climbed for several days. This was one of my main plays out of the gate today. It's climbed from 40 cents last week up to $1.7080, and we double topped even this morning too. This was exactly that as well. It creates the stars align. Many variables. I'm sure you do this too, Mitch. With not only VWAP, you have the daily. You might have RSI. Just the hand gets better and better, where it provides more conviction. You got that pocket ace setup, and so all the stars align. You put some more chips on the table. So that's essentially what I'm working here, AIRE. And these plays, like the hangovers that I've discussed, normally I stay with them longer. Like, figure out with you guys, with what you're trading, like what do you trade best, and what do you feel more because if you're confident in a play, you're going to allow it to work to its full capacity. If you're not confident, what are you going to do? You're going to take it off early. That's something I've been, looking at my track record and seeing what am I trading that I'm not staying with too long. I'm not feeling that trade, taking it off early, and try to eliminate those or size dynamically based on what you're what setup you're trading well and what you're not.
All right, looking at this AAIIO, this Robo.ai Inc. Don't know what the hell it does, but you got me in the name. AIIO. I don't know if you know this one right now, Kevin.
AIIO. Gonna take a look.
Robo AI. All right, right in the good name.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. We'll see what that 220 is gonna do.
Yeah. I think this is one of those is trying to undercut on 190 right now. So
okay, 720. I saw some news. They agreed a joint venture to establish autonomous vehicle industrial park in Dubai.
Let's see if it gets picked up through $2. I got a swing trade on FLNC. Of course, you guys know how I love that name. I got out of that name, break even earlier on the day trade, back in on the swing because I love to swing that bad boy. So I'm going to keep trying to rinse and repeating that name. DraftKings still stayed down there. It did cut me out eventually, but it's still staying low. It could go lower. Also, just to kind of mention, we'll see what happens on that one. Looking for grab to continue going through the 605. It looks really good now. I think I'm going to step up to the plate on this bad boy. Let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to put it right on the bid right now. So it only fills me if it pulls back a penny. But we'll see if it just starts to fill me there, and then I can be break even and look for the rest. Keep driving, guys. Keep driving.
See that AIO IPO not long ago either.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is, but the $2 just looks prime there. We'll see if it gets going. It's trying to reload right now. It did not want to fill me at 188, so that tells me more and more that that 190 seemed to be the reload area. So let's see if it just takes off now and gets through 2. The NAOV opened up again there, guys. That's looking good. We're right back to 2 on this one. So let's see if that can break 2 and then really get going. But your NAOV did reopen up right back towards the 14s. Now starting to run into a little bit of some resistance there, but it looks good. I love these that halt up, then halt down. I actually loved for them to go back up.
And then go up.
I've traded those plenty of times where I've traded on the first rip, it halts down, it washes the traders out, and it's right back up. And you notice how it halted at the same level that it halted the first time. That's a telling sign.
Here she goes. Third test, guys. I'm not going to touch it right here. On the short. I mean, this is a third test up here. So, I mean, like Mitch is saying, this is halted up, halted down, now going back up for another potential halt up. So just be mindful of it. Be careful there in AOV. It's a low flow. I got under 1 million is what I'm looking at, but also everyone's here. So just size accordingly.
Yeah, someone tried stepping up on that AIIO. They went 10,000 shares and 4,000 shares. Pretty much, they tried to do a 15,000 share order at 196. So I don't know who that is. Might be your boy Cameron Ross, but
The
I'll tell you
Warriors.
one thing. It seemed like a guru type of order right there, right before the $2 spot here. So I'm gonna go for if I do go for this, it would be like kind of the quick rip and sell. Watch for the rip and sells to come in there also. But that was came in right at that 10,000 share order, and trust me, I like to catch those big orders like that because it tells you where the big boys are trading.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a trader in chat this morning. He said the Warriors are out today, and NAOV certainly. There are Warriors on NAOV. This thing is breaking up through 15, so we'll see what she does here. It's likely going to halt one way or the other, guys.
All
Oh
right,
my!
guys, added there on grab. Now I got to hold break even and just let her go. It's 1,100 shares now, 594. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Big boy
perfect.
position. All right, there's AIIO. Broke the $2, back to 206 now. Looking good, looking like it wants a break. I'm looking for a 210 break here. If not, it's not really going to run here, but let's see if we can get that.
Yeah, look, I mean, it looks good, from on your side of things. It's kind of stair step sign of health.
Oh, yeah.
For shorts, I look for the straight, euphoria, guys, straight up. So
Yeah.
that's when I would get involved here on a short, and where likely Mitch starts, taking some profits is, getting that straight up kind of move. So we'll see if she does get the volume.
Yeah, she needs it right now. She needs the continuation because she got 5 minutes ago, 258,000 shares of volume. Now it's dropping quickly to 263, but it's still trading hundreds and thousands of shares, which is a good sign, right? So I think those are the two top names on my scanner here. I also see Arcel. That was one that I see there. SLNH. That's a holding company. I'm seeing a lot of these real penny names, the real ones that like are like trying to get to like $1.
Yeah, OP as well this morning. OPI was a decent one too. I didn't take this trade, but it is this one has got room to fade. OPI, it does have my interest, even where it is right now. 80 cents, kind of double top from yesterday. It's up massively, 20 some cents last
Ooh.
week.
Microsoft was my top winner on Friday. It's doing pretty well today. So if you guys are looking for big boys, those are keeping up the market. Overall market outlook here looking really well. SPY right back to the highs, holding the VWAP today, and just showing the bullishness in the market today. So definitely, they're not looking bad in the market right now. Look at the market here. It's SPY going higher. Sectors overall, if I look at the last 15 minutes, led by industrials, basic materials, financials, rotation. Technology is leading the market from the open, but overall, you having rotation also kick off to the other areas. So financials, basic materials looking great, industrials great, pushing. This market's looking awesome, man. Right now, it's crazy, but it's as bullish as can be right now. You're getting the breakout right before the rate cut. So be careful when we get that rate cut. But right now, it's gas pedal in a lot of stocks.
Gas pedal indeed. You remember the QMs? I mean, QMMM is still kind of fading today too, a little bit. I mean, there's no volume there, but it's just one that as a hangover guy, I like to kind of monitor those plays.
Stop set there in that AIIO at 194. At this point, it's what I call a ticking time bomb. So I'm sitting in a ticking time bomb. I can either let it explode or I can hit the fuse. I hit the fuse there. So you guys see the stop placed, and I'm just going to let it go, right? It can either keep going or cut me out for a very small loss, $30. So it's at this point I'm showing my hand. Why? Because ticking time bomb. It's going to explode in one direction right here. Let's find out. ARM is the other trade that I want to kind of get into here as it's pulled back. This is a really nice 5-minute pattern.
A ticker I think you would like is WLDS. I mean, that was in play towards the latter end of last week. I haven't been able to figure out this ticker. I have not taken many green trades on it because it's got shorts trapped, WLDS, and it's kind of going sideways, holding up a bit today. It's one certainly to monitor. I could see WLDS like curling, doing some kind of a squeeze today. It's going to do one thing or another soon because this thing is setting up from under $2 still towards $9, and it's going sideways. Buyers are stepping in and still holding this play on up. So if you don't have that one on your watch list, guys, certainly throw it on there. WLDS.
All right, trying to average into ARM. I got 50 shares already in the long, just looking for that to keep going. Grab looking great here. It's right back up above 6, which is what I want to see. Now I'll alert if it gets back below 6, but at this point, looking for the rip towards 620s to cash in, baby. Let's see what happens. It's a fun day, man. You guys see a little difference from me today because since I don't have Michael, I can't just always look into the overall market and look at every play today. So this is when I'm going to usually do a little bit better. And why? Because you guys see me really focused. This is why I've been doing really good on Fridays a lot because I've been able to just hone in and make a lot of money bouncing back on Fridays. I just bounce back on Fridays and
Call it Bounce Back Friday. I like it.
and believe it or not, that's usually statistically on the long run been my worst day. So I've actually turned it to being one of my best days this year. Why? I'm very cash oriented, meaning that when I get green on the screen, I'm taking money and running on Fridays. I think that's the important thing on Fridays.
Yeah.
Being a little bit more cash oriented. When you see green, you take a nice trade, take the trade and run. Because a lot of times Fridays trades reverse fast. All right, looking around out there, trying to add to ARM, looking to see if Grab can go higher. I like the ARM trade, but I could also look to see what other trades start to kind of work in here. Basic materials. I talked about Cleveland Cliff and how steel has had a breakout. Look at the strength in this move. I've been waiting for a pullback, haven't got one. That tells me something. Cleveland Cliff going higher, steel going higher. Steel Dynamics is another name I like here, STLD, and it's just starting to move today. So this is one that I could look at on a swing. So what I talk about all the time, leaders to laggards, right? There's all of a sudden leaders that are pushing in an industry, look for a lag. A lot of times it can even be the higher quality names because they take a little bit more to get going. Look at coal today, man. You guys know I love my black gold. That is ripping out today. HCC, big breakout to 62 from 58 today, guys. BTU, 2% move higher. AMR going 5% higher. And this looks like it can continue to run. I'm watching for this. I'm going to look for a little bit of a pullback on this, see if I can just play a little bit of AMR, which is very hard to play because of the spread. That I will say, but we'll see what happens. Coal, the black gold, doing well.
I'm curious your thoughts on HSDT, that move this morning.
All right. The HSD.
DT. Yeah, it went from what? It was like 10 to 50.
That was a very tough one. 15-minute chart, you got to catch early, right? And that's what it was. It was a 15-minute break above like 19s. It first spiked up there on the first spike to 1648s. Comes back towards 1189. So that's playing that on the morning spikes, right?
Yeah.
That's where someone loaded in there. And you can see because of the amount of share size that was traded in the first hour of the morning, those people that made their money in that name traded between 4 and 5 a.m. Just going to put it out there. The guys that really made their money, they loaded in there at 4 and 5 a.m. And they rode it up. They rode it up. They rode it up. They rode it up. When it started to hit 40s, they were like, okay, this is a little bit extreme. Let's start selling. It hits 50. It goes above 50 even. And they just started selling out, right? So,
yeah, it's why I like shorting because I can react to these moves. You can see I got way scared out of this. I just took it off. The shorting, you just react. You see the ticker up from 5 to 50, and then you can get involved. You don't have to be early. You can be late, really, because you can take the backside of this on the short side. I mean, it would have been very fruitful to just kick back with this with some shares, to fade it against that euphoric move. I mean, but like Mitch is saying, that volume we're looking for, it's almost like the peak of the mountain, Mount Everest. And you just, from there, normally you do get it. I mean, you'll have some fluctuations with the price, but those are great areas of risk on the short side. AIIO, still holding $2 for you. Good work there.
All right, guys, time to go for the win in the swing account. Guys, I can't tell you enough how many times I've been at this same spot on the swing account, this 11,200 area. I'm at 11,136 right now, and I keep not being able to get it. So what do you got to keep doing? The only way to hit a home run, guys, is to keep swinging, man. So sometimes you just got to keep on playing, man. Keep on playing. That's what I've been able to do. Stay in the fight, right? Sometimes you're going to get hit, but you got to stay in the fight. And sometimes you got to take a hit to actually get the winner, the winning punch, right? So in this case, let's see what happens today. Let's see if we can get it. FLNC is going to be the stock I'm going to take the shot with right here, right now. 400 shares deep, 720. Let's go add 200 more. Boom. Just added there. Looking for this now to start climbing towards 750s and 760s. And I got 600 shares, so I don't need it to go far for me to make a good gain here in FLNC. So swing is on, and one of my favorite vehicles, FLNC. Let's go. IonQ, I saw there on the screen. How are those names doing today a little bit? Quantum names pulled back there, trying to reload. So it doesn't look too bad. Just needs to stay hot on the Qs and kind of the action out there. The SPY is doing really well. I think it's big boys, right? Kind of lifting the boat here. So kind of look for those big boys to kind of hang in there. Meta is a chart that I like right now on that pullback. Meta looking interesting here. It's just so expensive. That's the hard part with Meta. You got to try to trade like a leverage vehicle. What's a leverage Meta? You got the direction, 2x leverage, METU. There you go. Let's trade that bad boy. That looks great there. Man, it's already jumping. I hate when this happens, right? When you look at a trade and it's like, I'm just chasing right now, chasing. Like, get in, get me in. All right, I had to put a bid on the low there. I got to get a pullback fill here. I'm not going to chase it, but I like it. I put the order out there, 200 shares for this METU. We'll see if we get filled on the pullback. I could do like 85s on the pullback and just try not to chase too much and see if I can get that entry. We'll see what happens.
Check. I'm thinking about traders. I know everyone's on NAOV, but that gives me confidence on some of the other plays like check. It had that descending triangle against 3, so that's probably what I'm going to work there because NAOV squeezing up. Money Mitch up through 17 right now.
Yeah, and that AIIO did go to the 220s. Now starting to turn around. So right around the level that you like. We'll see what happens on that one. But stepping up to the plate all around, guys.
There you go.
Let's get after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that METU, like it's almost like they were listening. They're like, "Oh crap!
yeah,
It's just going for meta now. Don't let it move."
It's the worst when you're alerting something. You're like, okay, I'm gonna get involved here as it shoots down or up.
Yeah, because you guys hear it in me too. I'm not the guy that tells you it after I get in it because I think that's kind of messed up, right? Like, it's like, okay, so now I want you guys to help me, and you guys go long, right? That's what the gurus do. I try to tell you it literally as I'm going to the order box, right? So it's just a part of the game. It's a part of the game.
Check. Really strong pullback, guys, here. Off of that 280. Was really about to get involved there. I mean, it's just so much resistance overhead. The descending triangle, resist ceiling there, 3, you got 320, you got the open price. There's so many technical levels. And in AOV, again, like the stars aligning in the small world. It's a small world after all in the small cap land.
In the pre-market, I was asked this stock exactly. And what did I say? Exactly this. Going towards this range in this area between kind of the morning, the 7 a.m. To like 7:37. There's a little bit of a support there that it's going into, and it's just running into that, and it's just building there. That's okay. That's why I said look for it to get back through 285 and really get back towards 3. That's what you do on a stock like this. You don't try to call the bottom on a stock like this. You wait for it to get back through 3. If you're going long, right? And you just leave it alone, right? You tell me when you want to get hot, check. Because if you watch too much of this, you're going to either want to get shorted because it's just stair-stepping, right? And pushing off of these levels. Or you're going to want a long, like off like 250s and then you're going to
And
get probably.
predict volume coming in. You're absolutely right. Like, you wait for that volume confirmation because otherwise it's on NAOV. Like, wait for it to come through. You get an increase in volume because you're right. Look at the volume chart, guys. I mean, it's stairs stepping down. You got on the long side. You're going to need shorts to cover, longs to come in for this thing to really reclaim the open and curl on around. So you got to have volume confirmation on that. It's where I went wrong when I was more long as a long bias trader when I started out. It's like trying to predict. I
Yeah.
think it's a good lesson. React, because even what Money Mitch is saying is reactionary based off of the volume and what the price action is doing.
Yeah, the only way you can go about it here is to be so small that you can take like 10
Fewer.
or
Yeah.
15 haircuts. If you're that small, then okay, you can get an entry here and then maybe add to the position when it starts to win. But I think it makes more sense to wait for the $3 pop. And if I don't even get the $3 pop because it's that fast, I just look for the $3 pullback, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. With penny stocks and fast plays, the number one thing that's going to help us is being what? Not complex in our form of execution. So don't like, I'm going to get in a little here and there, and I'm going to sell there and do this and that. And the truth is, the trade is so fast, it needs to be more of a what? A predetermined approach that you're just working on execution of that predetermined approach. So when it's predetermined, you know exactly your levels, you know exactly where you're getting in and getting out. And the only thing you're truly paying attention to once the trade is actually going on is just the price action in front of you and reacting. Are you executing your plan or not? That's it. If you keep it to that, you'll be able to be in execution mode and in the zone. The moment that you start thinking of, oh, but what could this give me? Oh, but maybe this can give me another $200, or maybe I just add here and I risk a little bit more. Those type of decisions are the real costly one in the
You
small cap
don't
space.
want to overanalyze. If you overanalyze, you just turn into an analyst, and then you just overthink it. You go into paralysis by analysis, and it's awful. If you have to execute. As Mitch is saying, execute meaning put yourself in the risk so you can reap the favorable outcome of that trade. NAOV, halt it down now, guys.
That's how
Yeah,
it goes, right?
that's how it goes. It's just we called it. It's going to halt up or down here soon. It's getting euphoric there, but that's where everybody is. Just kind of watching it. These plays like this, Mitch, I normally I kick back, grab the popcorn and just the leading play of the day, because I have less edge there than some of the hangover plays.
Yeah, and especially what you want to see on check, a moment where things start to turn like this. So I'll
Yeah,
show you exactly what this is. This is important. So just right now at 10:42, and I'm gonna go to my screen so I can show you guys this. This is why I try to give you guys real lessons. This is a real lesson. Look how it just started to turn. The tape was really slow. The tape was small on buys and sells. They weren't like massive. Now it's like 15,000 shares wants to go through, right? 5,000 shares. So someone is trying to get in here and load now. Now 9,000 shares, right? So the big orders are starting to really flow and check. This is what you want to see. This is a sign of what? So this is price action change, right? So now we're starting to see price action change where volume is trying to jump into the trade, right? Volume doesn't tell us up or down. It tells us momentum is coming. So now we just pay attention and we're just looking to see, especially big size like this, 15,000 shares, those guys get themselves in positions where they're kind of stuck and watching now. That was around the 280 spot. So you know that he's probably risking on 260s, right? So if he gets tested at 260, he's probably going to wash out, right? But now you know, okay, so if we go back to 3, will he be selling at 3? He could very much be selling at 3, right?
that's my analysis on this too. It almost feels like 3 is that liquidity area, and
Yep.
so I think there's a lot of resistance from pre-market that's going to be just very heavy to break through. Not saying it can't, but we're going to see a lot of selling pressure up there. But it is the liquidity zone. So if we do pop over 3, that's going to be an area where I would be taking a short against, like, essentially into that resistance from pre-market, like 320.30 area. That's what I'd be looking for on it. But I want to see what NAOV does too, because if NAOV just fades from here, like everyone's just all small cap lands. They're all gonna jump onto the same boat, and that could
And
be true.
that Intel right back at it, right? Like I talked about it. It was just a liquidity little sweep right there. And they swept me, and then now it's right back up, right? So it just happens,
So
guys.
it
This is
does.
why we got to go on a little bit of a deeper time frame and just look for the pullback. Just be patient, right?
You're
Talked about the VWAP entry, 2270s or 9 EMA entry. That should have been the move, but it's okay. Now I'm looking for
okay.
Intel to break out, and I could still day trade this. That's what I usually do. Like if I miss it on the swing, I could still scalp it on the day trade account and kind of move over. But I got enough trades on. I got the entrance there in METU, which is the meta on the pullback. I was patient to get the entry at the 80s, and I got the entry at the 80s. All right, so now I got some good trades on this
Good.
return.
AIIO is good for you. You still with it?
No, it cut me out right at the spot. Remember, I cut out right there at the 194s, and then it just
Yeah.
cut me out, and then started to get going. It was a good looking trade. I just got.
You had the right eye there. I just want to touch on what you said there too. I mean, every day, like your mind has to be stronger than your emotions. I've realized that certainly too, because there's something to be aggravated with. Like I normally top take 1 or 2 tickers every day. It's just part of it. Like you gotta
Part of it, man.
It's part of it. You just got to get through those emotional hurdles and not go tilt mode. Right? Can't go tilt. Just kick
Okay.
back. Check curling around.
Michael, the boring stock is moving. It's Intel. He goes like, this thing is as boring as can be. It's never going to get out of here. I have this feeling, man, we're going to be looking back at Intel and being like, man, maybe I should have just grabbed a little piece. Because at $20, it's still pretty cheap. Filling the gap is what I see coming in here. I think this is going to make a run to 30s. We'll see what happens.
My eyes are on check right now. If we do pop over 3, and take a
Check.
short there against like 320s, 30s.
Ooh, it's getting there. It's getting there. I told you that the volume started to come in, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna get
Let's see it here.
get her loaded up.
I'm gonna
What do
get
you
ready. I might take a long here, but it ain't to go against you, my friend. It's just because I feel like it's set up there to
It's
get
halting up. It's halting up. It's about to halt up.
Ooh, can I get in?
Oh, it looked like it was. Do you see all those orders
Pulled
stacking?
it. Yeah, they pulled it. They pulled it down. They started to bid down on it. So they go down and they shorted a second to try to reload some volume in here. I'm grabbing a little bit, 200 shares there. I think we might get a liquidity scare here where it just pulls back all of a sudden and then gets going. So just be careful out there. I'm taking a little bit there just to take part of the trade a little bit here. 200 shares. You guys see it long. And now I got what? 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, guys. And that the best one is grab.
What I love about being in multiple, like all those positions, you just know, you see down there what's working, what's not working, and you're less tunneled. That's what I like about working multiples.
There comes the liquidity search here, guys. Be careful. You see how it's pulled back really quickly off of that breakout attempt? So what I'm doing here is I'm putting out a limit to add at like 276. So like way away from the action. Hey, if you want to come back with a quick move, but fill me. Fill me if you want to come back with that quick move. So let's have some fun, guys. Let's show you guys this right on the screen. Let me just go ahead and pay attention really quickly to grab because it is going in my direction. That's a 1,100 share size position. So
Oh, AIIO just slammed off of just pulled. I mean, 230s down to 2.
yeah, look at this Intel. Boom, breaking out now.
Heck yeah, man.
ARM is another good one here, guys. This ARM I have for 100 shares. I really like this setup. This just looks pretty, guys. Let's see if I have any more buying power. You know how that goes. All right, let's put out another order to add on ARM if it wants to pull back
RCEL?
here. But
RCEL. I think one of you brought that up a little bit ago,
Yeah.
but that's curling all the way around. Wow.
yeah, it's looking good. Looking good on that one. That's right here on my scanner here. It's the fourth name on this scanner here. So NAOV is still opened up there. Now it's at 15 and it's going sideways. Well, that one might actually hold back up. Like it's a wild ride there, right? So just be careful out there, guys. Be careful. There's that quick dip there for check. Ooh, it's a halt down. Oh, it halted down on us. Oh, look at check. It got me, guys. It got me there. Look at that.
Did
Quick
it fill
sweep.
your long, or are you out?
Oh, it filled me. It filled me. Of course it's going to fill me, man. Of course that one's going to fill you, man. If you're out there and they go hunting, they find it. All right, so we'll see when this opens up because I have a feeling it's going to open up like a 250, and then it's going to maybe make a quick move and re-sweep back up towards 3. This is the one where you got to be careful, guys, because your exposure is what gets you dangerous here. Even for me, that I went small, I'm still starting to open up exposure here that's unneeded, right? So I'll be watching this right as it opens up. We'll see what happens there. I was watching a little bit of arm there, and then it halted up real quickly there. We'll see what happens. I'm actually at this point pulling back on arms trade because I don't want to add too much right here and open up too much exposure right now, right? So we'll wait for that to start going into the green and see what happens there on arm. Grab is going to be important here now. Now I need to make sure that I cash and grab, right? So now it's just really kind of focusing in on the positions that we have. Right, so the overall market kind of slowing up a little bit there too. Got a little bit of a pullback, but the Qs and SPY still looking really good. We'll look to see them hold above VWAP. All right, guys, it's 10:51. We're almost done here, Kevin. It's been a fast one.
Yeah, man, that's what I love about trading. I mean, that's just
And
goes by.
that Intel, man, that one's gonna hurt a little bit. It's working out well on the swing now. It's starting just to climb off that 23. It's a climb, about 60 cents now. So this was the pattern on the 15, and it just caught. Boop. Right back up. Let's see if it keeps going now.
So NAOV, I mean, that's rotated its float like 40 times or more. NAOV, this is up towards. It just halt up, or it looked like it was about to halt up. Climbing back up, towards the highs. You see lower wicks down here getting accumulated at the prior break area. So yeah. She's
I had that feeling when she was at 15 and going sideways. I was like, yeah, she might go for another halt to the upside. Yeah.
You nailed that.
That's just a hard one though to take though. I for anyone out there, I can't blame.
Yeah. It's one I think I'm just going to stay on the sidelines with it. But monitoring, certainly. I mean, we get crazy euphoric here. I might stab a small short, but
Tesla's starting to get a little bit of a bounce. Maybe Tesla finally holding in here.
AIIO, I mean, it kind of looks like a decent short against the highs now.
Microsoft is really a name I'd look at on the swing side of things, guys. It just looks pretty. But that's just a bigger stock. I know you guys are like, what? Microsoft?
Man, Glue, what a fader that one today. That was a pre-market play, GLUE.
Ooh, you know what might be a short today? I'm just going to watch
Tell me.
Open.
Oh, dude, yeah. The good thing Nall sitting in here, he would not like this conversation. Is he all out? He might be all out of it.
Let's get it.
OPEN, yes. I was looking at this one this morning too because it already already gravitated towards that 10.
Yeah.
And then look at the retest there. And this is hangover. I mean, it popped right up. The problem is how many shorts are here looking to cover out.
It just needs to undercut 9 and watch how they run. They run like rats. They run like rats, man. This is that type of trade.
It looks good. That's a good call. I mean, we got upper wick towards a lot of the resistance, 1050s, and it's kind of heavy. I mean, the action's fairly heavy right now. It's one I had been certainly thinking about. Pop back over 10 and back to the lows. I mean, it looks like it wants to go red on the day, too.
I like it, dude. I like it a lot.
It's upper wicket on the daily. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's at the point where, this is one where it's up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2. Might make one more attempt to VWAP, but I think it's just going to flush from here. So I might take a little starter here. Yeah, I'm going to take a little starter here and then look to see if it bounces one more time to 1010. Above 1010s is definitely the area of concern.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
but I think it can make one more attempt at 10 here and then just fail and start to flush right back down. Did make a good trade on this on the short side of things on Friday as this came back down. So might as well just take the rinse and repeat trade and get after it. We'll see what happens there. Open to the short
Throw
side.
an order out. I'm gonna throw an order out with you against that 10-10 I like too. So
Yeah. Yeah, 10-10, maybe it gets to 10, but that's why I did the starter here and it's a swing and not a day trade because also I can let this position work, right? Like the idea is to be
yeah,
small and let this just crumble, right? Let it go back to $9 and below, and then yeah, I'm golden, right? Like then on the daily it starts looking really bad and it can go to like 7 or 8 here. That's going to be more of my target. Like $8
well,
would be the target.
dang
Talked. We talked, man. We talked.
Should have just market ordered into it.
They started hearing me too much, man. So this is one of those like what I call trend line approaches, where it was a trend line approach to the upside and it just failed. Like it looks like a trend line break and it just fails. So then now it's just more, did the shorts start to leak in?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, the volume faded there. What you're talking about as far as the trend line goes, I mean, it lower high that it put in. It's heavy under VWAP now. There's just a lot going on with it. It looks good.
Yeah. So now I got a long position, a big long on FLNC and a short on open. I love this type of approach where I'm like long some area of the market, short some area. Somebody's got to win. We'll see what happens out there, guys. So this is a nice trade. Another thing to keep in mind is as we get closer and closer to the interest rates, we could get a quick spike in the VIX just because it's seasonality kind of thing to keep in mind. So I'm not saying to get short, but just keep in mind that we're just kind of stair stepping up higher, and we could see elevator moves, pullbacks, right? So with that being said, just be safe out there, right? So Meta, METU looking good here. It's starting to get right back up, so that's looking decent. Check should be opening up real soon, so I got to be careful with that just to make sure I don't get another down haul on that. And Grab still working well. ARM not as well as I thought it would here, so I'm at the point where it's like right on breakdown, where it could break the other support, and then I'm out. So I'm going to go ahead and set that stop there. It's going to be about $90.
NAOV still kind of going sideways here. I mean, it's shot up towards 17 up and over. Certainly the play still, so keep that one on watch. 1450 is kind of a key level here. 1450 ceiling into support.
Really looking for FLNC now to take off to like 750s, and that could be some cash there. That could be another $200 trade on the swing account. Let's go. Let's go. Open looking good there. Check. Come on open, and then let's play with you. Let's see what you got. Check.
Yeah, open looks real good. Yeah, anybody? Yeah, I see. Shaw was trading Tesla or hard to trade. Yeah, I mean it's Tesla, man. What was your analysis there this morning? I mean, 3 days in a row, just straight up, and now it's kind of sideways action here, double bottoming 415.
Yeah, I think the key was it's an advancing shoulders pattern on the daily. And then so essentially, as long as you end green, you had really good bullish momentum, but you could be in the pullback time, right? And so I think at this point, playing it here, you're just momentum playing it higher. You got to be real quick because I think tomorrow it could gap down back towards 400. And it doesn't mean it's a bad thing if it does that. It just means it's good playing like kind of a little bit of a pullback inside day kind of thing. And so in my eyes, I think Tesla to 400 was the sell. At this point, you're just riding the momentum and the last little bit of juice. You could ride that juice though. It could go to 450 today and then tomorrow be that takedown day. That's what I mentioned early. So right now you're holding 416s. That's kind of your risk area, and you're trying to reclaim 422s. Remember that Tesla loves to rip out through a level and then retrace to that level. So we'll see what happens here. If it rips out through 422s, gets to like 426, and then comes back to that level, that would be my more approach for Tesla if I'm going to play it, right? So show me a breakout, then pull back. Let's play the momentum. It's okay to continue momentum on moves like that, but what you want is a stock to continue to show you momentum. If it's not, That's another thing to be on the sideline with, right? Like essentially Tesla is almost at the open today and it's gone nowhere. So what is it telling us? It wanted to pull back, it found some buyers and it's trying to get going again, but can it get going? Here's the open on check, not looking good there, down about 104, but what did it do? The 250 move right on the key, right? So we might get another 250 attempt here. I'm going to have to put a stop in a second here because that's the key. You got to be careful for the flush down. But if you show your hand too, they'll come and get you too. So it's kind of hard. What I do is I keep the click right there and I'm ready to go ahead and throw it out there. If I see 250 on the last or any order going through there, I'm going to get out. There it is right there. You're seeing that approach. It taps it and it goes right back up. Right? Why? Because it's filling some shares here. And definitely going to spread out probably a little bit here to try to grab a little bit more. Right there, it spreads out there. Now it's back towards 260. So now I'm going to put a stop at 248. Now I can throw it out there. Right? After that kind of little bounce there and check where you saw that 250 kind of go to, you saw it undercut it real quick. So wash out some of the stops. And then now that the sweep's back, they have to sweep it back down to get me, which is harder. Right? Like essentially the momentum's now going towards upside, not the downside pull. They could still get me now because I'm putting my order out there, but it's easier and it's better to wait for that kind of sweep action to kind of support the trade here. We'll see if they cut me out, 248.
Good work with open. Man, we were on that. You got the trade at 950 we're at with OPEN. Good work, anybody in chat getting involved with OPEN.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's going red on the day.
Yeah, now you just want to see it completely dump, like bid down. What bid down means is like, so like you want to see those red orders on the Trader Evolution. We have red, right? You want to see red a lot. And there's a lot of size now coming in. 20,000 shares. There's somebody that was long there just getting washed. 20,000 shares on this. If you were long 20,000 shares, imagine. You know, you're now starting to see this go through the 950s and you're like, oh my God. Yeah, they're on the run. The traders are on the run. You can see it on the tape. They're just smacking stops. So this is cool to see, guys. I want to show you guys this because I think this is important, guys. You're seeing the price action really support the down move, not the up move there and open. So we'll see what happens there. And check started to come back. So I'm just leaving it. At this point, the stop has to be placed because it's just too much risk, right? Like I shouldn't have had this risk in the first place. Another thing to do is when it gets back to my break even, manage down. And what? Take like half off or 3/4 of the position off to just get out of the position with risk, right? So to me, it's called a managing of the position, right? And sometimes you do got to manage. What are you seeing out there on that NAOV?
Yeah, I was just taking a look. I got a daily monitor. Just taking a look at the past chart history there. It is very wicky. I mean, we got a lot of wicks on the daily. It's slowing down a bit, like descending triangle-ish. Volume's fading too. So, you know, I'm waiting for kind of the more predictable setup to stab at a short there. But will I or will I not do it? I don't. You know, time will tell. Time will tell. I'm not sure it's worth it on this name.
Yeah, I think what you need to do is look now into deeper daily levels, right? Which is, it's already hit here, which is like the 1580s, the 16 spot, right? Like that's like kind of the spot where I think you're going to find some people trying to sell big. So that's kind of your level right now, right? I mean, where did we get to? A high of 17? Yeah, 1740s. Yeah. So on the 15, right, what are you also seeing? A lot of topping and where the bodies are is what? 16, man. So the sellers are getting in above 16 and they're trying to short above 16 on this name. That's what I could see on the chart because it's the daily levels to attack, right? Between these two zones is where going to be where your daily levels line up to turn right back down, right? Daily levels, not intraday, not all those levels that a lot of traders are watching, the daily level. So as it spikes through here, you can short at like 17 and then hold at like 19, right? Like you're holding with like some space there versus how a lot of shorters will do. They'll short here, then can you really hold up to 19? I mean, that's a big move to hold up to, right? So that's the hardest part of shorting these first day runners. You almost have to short as it's breaking out.
Exactly.
Like you have to take the shot as it's breaking out to take your shot, right? So
Yeah, on the first day movers especially, I don't like hitting the weakness too, or the sideways action. But yeah, I agree. I mean, just kicking back with it now and then also adding to that, sizing appropriately. If 19 is going to be that level, piece it up. This is one I'm not going to be. This is a hand that I'm not so overly convicted with. I'm going to be sizing to full size. I would probably size up to like 200 share position on this. Something along those lines. So it's not. It would be a smaller trade for me, with decent potential. But I could piece that up. You can size, throw the feeler, and
yeah,
size up. Yeah.
definitely. Let's see what happens with this check that's playing around, guys, and it's trying to get going, but it can't get going just yet. Um, and we'll see what happens to it. It tells me that it really needs to get some volume here if it's going to make the move. METU though, look at that. That's what we're talking about. That was a patience entry. That was a patience move, and look at her go. Right. So patience can reward you guys if you're willing to be patient. Right. There's check now starting to get a little bit of a spike. What I talked about, right? We're getting a little bit towards the spike area where I could just size down, right? And I think that's an important thing. Arm cut out, guys. So it did take a hit there in arm. Ready to keep trading. Ready to keep going. Let's go. Best positions right now, grab and METU. We'll see what happens there in check.
Glue curling around a pre-market play from this morning. They actually had some reputable news on them. Let me look. They're partnering with Novartis on an immune disease.
Yeah.
Partnership going on there. Glue. It's bouncing off right around 6. So this has got a lot of consolidation again. For risk wise, if we're shorting this against 730s, 40s. So monitoring Glue.
Another 16 rejection here. You see that? Another 16 attempt. It goes to 1550. It looks like it goes to 1580s. It looks like it's gonna go back to 16. Now it's struggling to even get to 16. Right?
Yeah.
Daily levels. So important. So if you're gonna go after this, you go after the gap close and it goes into the daily range, right? Which was this range right here to the left. You look left, right? And you say, where on earth will it hold? Can it get back into this space, right? Back into this space to the left, get slightly above this and start to reject it, right? Because that's where it's rejected in the past. It's rejected here in the past, right? And it's rejected to get above 16 here, rejected to get above 16 here and hold, right? The stock is literally telling you where it rejects, but sometimes we get so focused on the action, we don't notice it, right? It was literally telling us the area of rejection, which was 16. So
yeah, it's not rocket science, and the levels aren't important just because they're levels. Their significance applied to them because other traders are looking at them that are buying and selling this ticker. That's what this is. Yeah, that's
if you're telling me I had to short this name today, and at what price would I want? I would have been real quickly like 16, and where do I have to risk? If it gets to 16, it's been up today like what, $8? So yeah, if it's $8, I can maybe risk $2 or $3. So 16 risk off of 19 makes sense. Risk and reward wise. That's another thing, right? Keep that in mind too. If you're going to come after this, you come after it with a predetermined trade and you ladder approach. For me, that would have been, okay, so I'm looking for 16 to break. There's going to be some type of momentum. So maybe we get to 17. So I'm going to put my first order out at 17. I'm going to put an order out at 1750, and I'm going to put an order out at 18. Ladder approach. I'm going to put 50 shares on each one. And if I do get all 3 fills, that means I'll be sized in at 1750 right off the start. That's why I do it in 3s. The middle approach, the middle sizing, the middle entry will be your entry if all 3 entries hit, right? So you do it even, right? You want to do it by 50 cent increments or 20 cent increments, something like that. And that's really where I've seen the traders win, right? They're filling in there at 17. They're filling in there at 1750. Maybe you didn't get the 18 fill, right? because it goes to 1740, or maybe you don't get the 1750
Yeah.
fill,
Yeah,
but at
maybe.
least you did the right approach for the scaled approach to tackle this, right? Ladders, guys. Ladders will pay you out if you're patient,
If you're
guys. But
patience.
it's
They're
not
so
put all the order in at once. If I put 1,000 shares there at 16, what happens? I get wrecked at 1740, and then the trade comes down. But if I sized in there with only 100 shares or maybe 50 shares, as it went from 16 to 1650 to 17 to 1750 and 18, right? What do I get? I get 17 with like 500 shares or 600 shares. This
But
is
yeah,
the approach.
just predetermine it, guys. Like he's saying, though, I like to just say, okay, dollar amount, what am I willing to risk, and then size, to that. But sizing, there's so much power in it. Of course, if you size to full size and take the loss, it certainly hurts. But your win rate does go up fairly dramatically because your initial entry is usually like a good entry still. I mean, you're still taking it at 16, and very likely, it is to hit some a ceiling there in it and pull back. So I mean, there's money to be made on all entries, and of course too, Mitch, you can, like, let's say you hit it with that first entry at 16 and she rejects right there. You can size then into the winner. So it's sizing dynamically, like whether whether you plan for sizing, you just plan for it all. Plan for it. It just, the feeler position is there to feel the trade out. That's the essential
Ooh.
point of it.
Look at Meta.
Oh, baby.
Meta. Let's go, guys. It's 11:11. I'm gonna get in trouble, so I gotta get out of here. But we're gonna cash here. I'm gonna put out an order. 46.92. I'll put that out there to cash here, guys. But that's gonna do it for us today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Kevin, thank you, my friend. You made it fun, and I was able to stay extra. So thank you, my friend. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you guys back tomorrow. Keep battling. Like always, catch us. We'll be on at